guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, and quite frankly, Tottenham absolutely embarrassed and outclassed in today's North London derby, of course, losing 2-0. Absolutely shambolic from start to finish, you know. Look, I don't want to put all the blame on Hugo, but it unraveled starting with Hugo. Nobody showed up today. We've got serious problems at this football club going forward. Right now, it doesn't seem like there's any sense of direction. The board don't want to answer anything until after the January transfer window, even though we need transfers in this door. So look, let's bring on Spurs fans and let's hear what they have to say. Jack, anything you want to say before we get going?
No, I just, just want to honor the fact that people, you do want to kind of come on and have their say. It's been a very deflating day, but people maybe have a lot of things, of course, that comes to their mind right away that they want to get off their chest. And, we're just here to say it. So, let's get into it. Looking forward. Not really looking forward to what they have to say, but honestly, this day could not end any sooner, Dave, for me.
No.
And I wish we could all wipe it away, but yeah, looking forward to at least what people have to say, especially because, we're a little bit dejected, and I bet people kind of have some fresh ideas and things like that. So
yeah, 100%. Look, I can't wait to hear the Spurs fans, see what they have to say. But ultimately, it's just been a shit day. Can't wait for it to end, if I'm being brutally honest. We have a lot to go into over the course of next week, a lot to talk about what's going on. But look, let's start getting on the fans. Let's welcome a few people in the chat first, just quickly. We've got Drew Zilla Borum says the boys are back in town. Yeah, reluctantly, my man, reluctantly. But at the end of the day, we're frustrated. But other Spurs fans are also frustrated and want to be able to air their opinions. So, that's why we're running this fan show for you. Spursy Spurs says Lloris causes us the loss. We were on the front foot until Lloris made that rookie mistake. Yeah, look, it started unraveling with him, but like I'm going to keep saying, it wasn't just him. Nobody turned up today. From 1 to 11, they were all absolutely useless. John Stokes says, evening, gents, what a shower of shit. Oh, tell me about it, man. Tell me about it, John. Claude Murphy says, look, I cannot even eat. I am gutted. I think we're all gutted, brother. I think we're all absolutely vexed with it all. Sean E.J. Daniels says, Dave and Jack, poor performance. The system is no... finish off the comment, my man, and we'll bring it back up so I can understand it, brother. Chris says, today is the first time I can say enough is enough on the drab, painful football. Fair play, my man. Paul G, big up yourself, brother. If you want to come on, just let me know, my man. Drula says, Conte is one-dimensional manager. Look, he got his tactics wrong today. It's that simple. They were wrong. 2J says, seriously now, for real, in all seriousness, Conte needs to wake up and change the formation. It's not working. Look, it is looking like we have to go that way. Being brutally honest, once managers start doing that, it usually sort of means things are coming to an end, and he'll end up carrying the sack because, the players will then start being confused. They'll start moaning about changes, this, that, and the other, and everything else. Just leads to absolute chaos. I'm not even sure Conte has the time to be able to go with a new tactic and give it a chance and a run for a little while to see if it works, to be honest with you too, Jay. Look, actually, I'm just absolutely fed up with everything from top to bottom. Nobody escapes any criticism from this today. Just let the fans down time and time again. Fans pay a fortune to support this club. We're some of the best fans. In fact, we are the best fans in England. So passionate. We love this club. We love it so much. At times we let ourselves be mugged off by it, and it's an absolute disgrace, but everybody takes criticism today. Absolutely everyone. I was speaking about after the show, since the Champions League final, this club has been an absolute wreck. Bringing in Conte and Paratici, I was hoping it was going to pull us out of it a bit quicker. I really didn't want to have to sit there and press a full reset button. Bring in a project manager, reset with him because he's going to need time to completely readjust the squad, get out some players that maybe we like that he wants out, or, probably maybe means selling a Kane or a Son, to be able to rebuild it. Then you've got the owners. It's getting to the point they've probably took the club as far as they can take it. They don't look like they want to put their hands in their transfer or into their pockets this season and find the money for a new goalkeeper, right wing back, centre back, plus other little areas in the squad. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. So they've took this club as far as they could do. I don't think they have the financial power to take it any further. So you're probably looking at long term. We need new owners that do have even deeper pockets because it's the way football's going. There's so much, man. So much too, Jay. But Jack, anything you want to say, man?
What I would say to you too, Jay, is I think with Conte, maybe you would see the better of his formation. You would see the tactics really come through if he just actually had the players at his disposal, more progressive center backs that are better on the ball as well as better at defending. If he actually had a keeper that you would also be able to pass back to and not feel like it's going to be super rattled or anything, fullbacks or wingbacks that can actually be effective in his system. Starting to look like the midfielders are really just not good enough when without maybe Bentancur as well. And then we could start to see his tactics really come through there with that 3-4-3 or with either a 3-5-2 if we had, maybe more, different midfielders to choose from. So a lot of it, I just think, is the personnel with how his tactics maybe aren't coming through at the moment. Another thing, though, too, is like even just though last season with the Nuno or whatever it was, weren't we saying that, oh, this team is crying out to play for a back three? Now we're saying, we need to move to a back four. It's just, I don't know. The one thing that sort of kind of stayed consistent for the most part is kind of that defense, and a lot of kind of the same players have kind of stuck around. And so it just seems like we're kind of just going back and forth between, what's better for Spurs, a back four or back three. And I don't know. I just think we know that what's best is just to continue to clear out the players that have stuck around for as long as they have, to Jay, and have kind of caused the same managers the same problems.
Look, back three, back four, back five, it really doesn't matter. We can see the shitload of goals have done since Pochettino got sacked, even, leading up to his sacking, couldn't keep goals out. The reality is it doesn't matter what formation you do with some of these guys. They're absolute trash, not good enough, and you've got to get them out. Look, some of them were okay today. Some of them were okay defensively wise, but like shit on the ball, and it's a huge problem. It's a huge problem at this football club. I'm sick of arguing over formations at the end of the day. Just get them gone. Get in the next guys. Like we constantly persist with people trying to make it work. What if we sack this guy, get this guy in, get rid of this guy, get this guy in? Just take the answer that's glaringly obviously and staring you in the face. It's not working out. They're not good enough. They're not at the correct level. Get them out. Get the next guy in. Start acting like a ruthless football club. Big up, TJ. Big up, Russ. Really appreciate that, my man. The Bolton Dew says the fan show is going to be an emotional roller coaster. Take lots of courage to do this today. Big yourselves up, you two. No, look, it doesn't take any courage. At the end of the day, we signed up for this, my man. We signed up for this, brother. Big yourself up, though. Really appreciate the support, brother. We've got the multi-channel says completely outclassed game over, halftime over. I'm fucking out. Yeah, it was over by halftime. I'm sick of it. Absolutely sick of it. I knew we weren't going to come back. As soon as the second moment in, I knew it was the day was over. Sean EJ Daniel says 3-5-2-4-4 or 4-3-3. Can't continue with this 3-4-3. You're overrun in the midfield. It was bad today, man. It was bad today. It was gut turn. It was like we had Harry Winks in the middle today, to be honest with you. It was a joke. Spurs says we were on the front foot. Lloris built the easiest shot ever, and then Arsenal dominated. Odegaard scored. Then we played decent, even though we couldn't score. Lloris says Young, Højbjerg, Son, and Dyer bad. Do you know what? With these second halves, teams make us look better in the second half because their game plan changes. They sit back. They don't come at us or press us as much as they do in the first half when they go looking for the game. When they're 2-0 up, it's one of the most dangerous scorelines in football, they say, So they don't want to get caught out or, get caught with bodies up the field and be exposed. So when we get the ball, they sit back into a shape and we can't do anything about it, That's why the stats look so much better in the second half. But I'm just fed up with it all, to be honest with you. I've had my fill of Tottenham Hotspur today. I've absolutely had it. Darren Kilban says there's huge problems. The way we set up by Conte is very poor. The lack of desire by both players and the owners. Take a few more comments, then we'll crack on. Tequila316 says, yeah, do you know what? I was really upset. I just, like I said, I don't know how much more I can talk about Tottenham today. I'm fed up with them. But at the end of the day, everybody else out there wants an outlet to be able to get their feelings out. So, once I calm down and talk about it, I'll put it up, my man. But I did say that. Who else have we got? Joseph is in the building. He says, same old with these players, guys. Let us down when it matters. Absolutely spot on, Joseph. Absolutely. Danny says we're a disgrace. A fucking disgrace that we are, my man. Absolutely. Coy says, big up, David and Jack. Big yourself up, man. Good to see you in the building. Steve Austin says, Irish and his pal Jack equals bro.
Big up, Stuart.
Big up, Stuart. Matt Uva Church says, Enoch out, Levy out. Wake the fuck up. Absolutely spot on, man. Tequila 316 says Sky Sports tells me Newcastle have best fans. No, they definitely don't, lad. Paul G says stick together. Conte, we trust. Yeah, look, we should be sticking together at a time like now. At the end of the day, I said this time and time again, fans need to come together now. You know, it's not the time to be falling out, popping at each other, this, that, and the other. Now is the time to come together and calm heads prevail and find a way forward. By sitting there, you know, having a pop at each other, this, that, and the other, it's really not going to solve anything. It's just going to send us further away from actually, you know, trying to find solutions to sort it all out as fans. It's all it's going to do, to be honest with you. But big up Paul G. Still the Conte he trusts. Look, I still want Conte in here. I don't believe sacking him is the answer. We can't keep going through this route of sacking a manager every 16 to 18 months because it has a knock-on in the transfer window. You're constantly different ideas. And then you look at our squad and you wonder why there's so many players from different regimes. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it has a knock-on effect.
And all the players get a clean slate. And a bunch of players get a clean slate, can kind of win the manager over, kind of get a new good spell and everything. Yeah, spot on, Dave. Big up, Zoe. Good to see you.
Big up, Zoe. Good to see you. Look, I'm going to skip to the bottom of the chat so we can. I'll keep bringing up comments.
Ian Cook, member for 11 months. Big up, Ian. Says, disappointed with this performance. This team needs serious investment, but will it happen? I don't know. Levy out, Conte in. I sort of, Ian, like I'm kind of on what kind of Dave was saying earlier. I've just gotten really tired and a little bit bored of just constantly just shifting out managers, and also as well, kind of two managers that I really did actually highly rate and really kind of look up to in a lot of ways. In the case of Jose, who was kind of a manager that I had grown up with during kind of his prime and everything, you would say like that was really brilliant to see Spurs maybe take a shot at him. Same thing with Conte as well. I think Conte's basically come into Spurs when everybody kind of thought he was at his prime and everybody thought he was at his best. And I still think that's, you know, should be the case. But I don't know. It's just, it's gotten boring and it's gotten really pathetic to see Spurs just kind of kill managers. Basically, we're a place where managers' careers just seem to come to die at the moment. But big up Ian, my man.
Yeah.
And it was a disgraceful performance. And will they be urgent enough? Will they really put in that serious investment this January? We spoke about it for a little bit, but we'll be speaking about it plenty about what they'll actually, you know, look at the problems that we have and actually be, let's say, urgent enough to see them and urgent enough to fix them this January, whether they'll just push it down the road.
Yeah, 100%. Big up Paddy Higgins. Yeah, no Kane record today, brother. No Kane record today, which is absolutely sad. But look, yeah, I don't think it'll happen against City personally either. I think we're going to have to wait another couple of weeks for that. But good to see you in the building, Paddy. Mr. Brady with the super chat. Philip, don't blame you, my man. He says, keeping away tonight in case I say something I might regret. Conte's tactics are not working, not matching. The scum in midfield, absolutely suicidal. I think many people share your sentiments today, Philip, to be honest with you. Look, we could see it coming. I mean, you look, go back to last night, London Derby, Granit Xhaka and Partey scored, you know. They were queuing up on the edge of our box for shots. And Odegaard scores again today. But not only that, anytime Højbjerg and Sarr tried to push up, Odegaard just sat in between them and it was a direct ball into him and they're gone, you know. And all of a sudden, Højbjerg and Sarr caught further up the pitch. But Højbjerg was shit today. Thought Sarr tried. At least he tried. You know, there was some good moments from him. But at the end of the day, we're just outnumbered and outclassed. Yeah. It's what it is, Philip. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to accept. I hate it. You know, I'd like to say, I just want to go to bed now, to be honest with you. That's all I want to do. I'm just fed up with it, Philip. Absolutely had it up to here, my man. And I don't blame you for not wanting to come on, you know. I don't blame you. But look, let's start getting on some guests. Let's get some people on. We have Mia. She's ready to kick it off. Mia, how are you keeping?
Not bad, I suppose.
Take it away, Mia. Where do you want to start?
Joe, I think I said it backstage, is that it's really annoying because I'm actually more like disappointed. No, like your parents when they're disappointed in you, they go, I'm not angry at you, I'm just disappointed. And I feel like I want to go to every single one of those players and look them in the eye and just say, listen, man, I'm disappointed in you. I'm disappointed that you didn't fight for that badge like I would fight for that badge. I would do anything to wear that badge like you were able to and play on that fucking pitch, and you just didn't give it your all. And it's not like, it's bad that you even did that. Like, that's what I would love to say to those players. Like, look at yourselves, take a look in the mirror. You see that badge? That's what you should be playing for, and playing for the fans, because the fans love this club, and you should show us some bloody respect. You wear our shirt, you should show it respect. And they just did not do that today. And I do feel like the problems are more than one-fold. It's like the players, and then Conte hasn't got the players to play his tactics, but he's really stubborn and won't play any other tactics. And then obviously not getting in players, like the board need to sort themselves out and get these players in to help Conte out. So it's like, it's such like it's almost like a fan. It's like folded up into like loads of little pieces that just make that effect. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just like it bundles up together.
So many things get in the way of each other.
Yeah, that's it. And like, obviously today wasn't helped by little things. Say like Lloris, when he went to kick that ball out and almost made a huge mistake and nearly cost us a goal. And then from then on, they knew that we were shaky at the back, and you could tell every time we were kicking the ball out, there was that nervous tension of, if they come up and tried to get the ball from us, or like ball from Lloris, they could have probably done it. So like, that did not help, and it was a massive mistake by him. And that goal, he should have done better. I know it came a little nick off of Sessegnon, but still, it just wasn't good enough from him. And the second goal, why wasn't anybody closing him down? Why was nobody closing the fuck down? Why? Like, you can't let players just take long shots like that. They did that with Partey as well. We're lucky that we didn't concede from Partey's goal as well. He could have easily scored. That absolutely shook that woodwork. So why are we letting players just take shots like that? We need to close them down quicker. If we know they're a threat, especially from long range, close them down quicker. So there was like, but I don't think Conte wanted us to do that. I think that he didn't want us to make those mistakes. But like I say, he's also stubborn. He should have taken Cess off as soon as he saw that Sessegnon was not keeping up with Saka. Should have taken him off, because he just wasn't doing what he was supposed to do with Saka. Saka was walking all over him, absolutely walking all over him. He was fucking useless. He was just useless today. And then when he did get those chances at the beginning of the game.
Sorry, just quickly on Sessegnon, like, we've loaned him out. We know he wasn't good enough. And then we bring him back as a left wing back. Like, why do we keep doing this at this football club?
Oh, I don't know. Honestly, I can't tell you. I don't know. But
I think Sessegnon has lost his defensive ability, would you say? Because last year, people did kind of rate him defensively, but it seems like maybe that's what Conte, if I'm trying to get inside his decision-making for that, he's probably looking at what happened last time in the North London derby with Perisic being kind of attacked pretty easily down that left-hand side. It kind of was pretty easy for Saka to get by Perisic. Maybe he was thinking Saka is just going to be more responsible defensively and just kind of focus on that. And then he went for that. But I think just Sessegnon has just lost it both ways. He's lost it going forward completely, confidence-wise, ability-wise. But he seems to, I don't know, would you agree? Has he lost it defensively as well?
Yeah, he has. And I think the thing is that I do get it. I kind of thought, because of his speed as well, that he'd rather play him, because obviously he's quick and Saka's quick. But he just let him have space. He didn't like stay tight to him. If he would have stayed tight to him, it would have been a different story, but he didn't. And then a few times when Saka did it, he's thinking, well, he's going to give me space, so it's cool, man, I can do whatever I like. Sweet, I can just turn him, I can do what I want. So he knew that he knew that Sessegnon wasn't going to get tight to him. We needed someone to be tight on him. I think I said it to you in the preview show about Saka. I said someone needs to be on his arse, literally on his backside the whole time, because we know that he's quick. So someone needs to be there with him. Literally, do not give him no space, no time, nothing. And if we have to crowd him a little bit, so be it. Crowd around him so he can't get out. So we get that ball back. Even if it goes in for a throw, at least we have got that ball out away from him, because he is the danger. And he proved it today. He was the biggest danger.
Yeah, I completely agree. Can I ask you, though, about that midfield? What would you say? The midfield just completely outclassed? Did they need a third person? Could they have done? I mean, we all know they could have done better, but I mean, what would you look at Højbjerg and Papa Matasar? Because it just felt like the midfield was completely outclassed and outrun and all of those things.
we already knew that it was going to be difficult in midfield with who they've got in midfield. Like, we know that like Xhaka has become this sort of absolute mighty player. Like, everyone hated him for a while at Arsenal, and now they all love him again because he's just become this much better player. And yeah, that midfield, I feel a bit sorry for Sarr, because I don't think Sarr was overly awful. I think Højbjerg was awful. I think he was the passenger today in that midfield. It was Højbjerg. I think he just was not good enough today. He really just was not. And I don't know if plan 3, it could have worked. It could have, and I think that he should have tried that.
This season too, though. We've tried being in the 3 that made
We
times this
have.
season.
That's
We
what I
couldn't
said
create anything
before.
in the 3.
We
Yeah.
didn't create anything in the 3, so it's so tricky, because what we needed was Bentancur back, because Bentancur is very good on the ball. He's confident. He's got all the things that we needed in that midfield today. Even with midfield 2, with him and Sarr, I reckon we would have done a lot better. I reckon that that bit of class from Bentancur is massively missing in our midfield, massively.
Yeah, 100%. Look, Mia, where do we go from here then, as a club, as a fan base? Where do we go from here?
Do you know what? I think I'm with you guys. Like, I feel like sometimes we keep just going, oh, it's easy, just change the manager. But like, when you look at all other managers, I know that he hasn't signed he hasn't signed anything yet, and we don't know how long he's going to be here. But the problem is that we can't keep chopping and changing. We have to give a manager a chance. So if it isn't Conte, if he's not here for the long run, get rid of him. Although I don't want to get rid of him, but get rid of him and get someone in long term. Look at a long term plan, and it's going to be difficult, because it is going to be us going through some struggles if we do that, and we all know that. But we also have to be patient. We can't be impatient. If we get another manager in, I don't want to hear after one season, oh, he's not a good enough manager, blah blah blah. No, because if you look at all the managers, they need time, and if Conte isn't the man to have time, we need to give another manager proper time, and I mean time. And I don't want to hear no one of fans moaning about, oh, this and that. You wanted another manager, you wanted to give this manager time, so you need to bloody do it and stick with it, and stop being a flaky person and just go, oh, new manager here. No, we're not going to do that. We need to stick to a manager, otherwise it's not going to work, in my opinion.
Yeah, look, it's definitely not a sustainable model, that's for sure. And just lastly, maybe on the transfer window, because we want to try and keep these calls short so we can get
That's cool.
people on and off. Well, what has to happen now, Mia, for me? Simply, they've got to find the money. Don't care, no excuses. It's time to put your hands in the pocket. I know people are going to say, well, they've done that in the summer. Great. But because of the lack of care that they took over this squad over the 3-4 years before that, they have to fucking do it again, surely.
100%. They need to give him the money, and I did say that before, and I said if they don't give him the money, then that is on the board, and it's disgusting, because they need to give him the money. But the problem is I half kind of understand that obviously if they give him money and then he doesn't want to sign, then they've wasted that money, if that makes sense. So he needs to make a decision as well where his future lies too. Like, I know people are going to get on my back about it, but I just don't think it is just the board on this one. I feel like Conte needs to then put that commitment, and then we can go, right, here, we're going to back you. Because if he backs him and then he goes, actually, nah, not for me, I'm not signing, then we're going to be even more stuck with players that are Conte players, and in the summer he's gone, and then we've just spent money just needlessly. So it is a really, really tricky situation. But he definitely, if he's going to stay, I want to see him say that he's committed and sign the contract, and I want the board to back him, put their hands in their pockets and dish out that money, and whatever he wants, give him whatever he wants. I'm not worried about how much the money is. I just want him to get what he wants. Like, there's all, like when Sean said it the other day, that it's a subjective thing, because someone else put in a comment in the chat and said, a super chat, and said, I want him to have a 70 million player every season. So that means it is subjective. Everybody's opinion of what's backing Conte is different. To me, I just want him to get what he wants. So that to me is good enough. If he wants those players, fine. I'm happy as long as he gets what he wants. But it is subjective. Yeah. It is a subjective issue, because other people's opinion of it is different to mine. Mine isn't about the money. Mine's just to give him what he wants. Other people say he's got to get what he wants, but it's got to be a certain amount of money player. So everybody's different opinion of it.
That's fair. Well, Mia, talking a lot of sense today, and thanks for coming on and getting us started on the fan show. Looking for better circumstances, but we're gonna have to just wait for them. But appreciate you coming on and getting this all off your chest as well. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Well, if you
Please.
want to hear more of my opinions, obviously go to my channel, Spurs Between the Lines. I did actually put out a video really quickly today because I wanted to get it off my chest. I was really in the moment. I wanted to get my emotions, my feelings out there. So if you could all go after this, obviously not now because you're watching their live, stick with this live. And then after, go and obviously give me a follow and like the videos, watch some of my videos, because obviously I'm quite a reasonable person. I always try and give my opinion in a fair way, and I'm quite passionate. I'm a very passionate person, so like, yeah, I like to have my opinion out there. So I've started my own channel, and it's only a tiny baby channel at the moment at 103 because someone unfollowed, which I'm not very unsubbed me. I get really sad about it because I'm only a baby channel, so every little sub I'm like, oh, unsubbed. But anyway, it is what it is. But I've got 103. So yeah, if everybody could give me a sub, I would really appreciate it, and watch my videos, because like I say, I'm trying to get my opinion out there as best as I can and put out content for people to watch and hopefully enjoy.
Spot on, Mamiya. Thank you for your time this evening. And
No
look, go
problem.
and take your mind off the game. Take mind off Tottenham for the evening. It'll only drive you
Yeah,
insane.
I'm not. I think the problem is I don't drink, so that's a bit of a difficult one for me. I don't drink. I could drink my problems away, but I'm not going to do that because I don't drink. So
Tuck into a good movie or, some popcorn or something like that.
yeah, I might
good,
watch a bit of Big Bang Theory. I quite like Big Bang Theory. It's funny.
There you
So
go. There you go. Do whatever you need.
right.
Just have
Thanks very
Appreciate
much.
you.
evening.
Thank you, man.
See you, my dear.
No worries.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Bye. There you are, guys. Everyone, that is Mia. Everybody get over and check out our channel. The link is in the chat. The bottom detail says we lost to a team that have lost just one game this season and are 3 years into their project. Blame the manager once he has got his players, and we are still losing. Today's loss is on the players. Jack, what would you say to the bottom detail here?
I just think that today, the bottom Duda, he got a lot wrong, maybe with how the midfield maybe went about it today. But we've seen other performances last season and everything where the 3-4-3 and the two midfielders were brilliant. It's just that, I don't know, maybe the choice of Sessegnon he got wrong. Also, maybe some of the just personnel he went with today he's gotten wrong. Another thing, too, is that I think with Hugo Lloris, it's a really peculiar situation. Like, absolutely, Hugo let him down major today, and he can't, anticipate that. He can't expect that. That's not his fault. But it's also maybe how he goes from here is that in the next game, does he pick Hugo again? Then, I think you just have to start, kind of maybe putting some criticism on his door. I just am with you, bottom Duda, though. I just have gotten kind of tired of sort of maybe, nitpicking mistakes of kind of these, as we thought, and as I think they are, world-class managers that have been brought in before. Everything from Pochettino towards the end days when he had to get sacked, and then because if the players had to, basically turn against him, and then the case of Jose Mourinho, and then with Conte here, it's just kind of getting a little bit exhausting for me, and I just would rather just stick it out with the manager. We've seen the benefits of, in the case of Arteta, we've seen the benefits of the case with other managers where if you stick it out with them, if you sort of kind of, we're not really the best at backing our managers, but if maybe we just stick it out with them and we just don't kind of be too sensationalist or too reactionary, I think we'll see the benefits of it. And also to see what Conte achieved last season, I just want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I just think he's gotten some things wrong today, either tactically with the midfield because they were overrun yet again, and maybe also with the choice of the wing backs. I think he got the wing backs maybe wrong today. I think he probably should have went with Perisic. And also the substitutions, I think, two could have definitely been better. He needed to make substitutions sooner rather than later. He had options off the bench and he didn't do them. I'm with you, though, to bottom Duda, though, where I'm by no means wanting him out or anything, but I think, a lot of people take, blame today, and Conte is by no means exempt from it. But I think a majority of it, I've put more on Hugo's doorstep today. That's at least me, though.
Look, the reality is some of these players have got 3 or 4 managers sacked now. You see the same shit. New manager comes in, you see a spike, and then there's a drop-off again. Just can't continue. Look, even if people want to get rid of the manager and bring in a new manager, the next manager we have to stick with. We have to bring in a manager and just over time let him develop his squad. Me, I'd rather do it under Conte because I don't want to have to go through another year, 2 years to be able to, try and challenge for top 4 again, this, that, and the other. I want to do it now. That's why I want to keep Conte. I want to continue to back it because I truly do believe we will see a lot better football once it's all his players, even in the first 11, just the players that he wants to use, you know? Yeah, we can say he wants to use Dyer, but I guarantee you if we had another option there, a better option than what we currently have, Dyer wouldn't be starting. You know, Hugo Lloris, it's clear to see we need a new goalkeeper. Can't really put that on Conte, the decline of Hugo. You know, there are things that you can't put on Conte at the end of the day. We can't be naive to that. But regardless of what happens with Conte now over the next while, the next manager, we have to stick it out. We have to let them do their thing with this squad. We just have to.
The players let him down major.
Part of the reason why we're in this mess is because it's a regime of 4 different regimes from different managers: Jose, Nuno, Poch, and Conte. It reflects on the football pitch. You see it. It's so disjointed. You know, people brought in for different systems, different styles of play, this, that, and the other. You can't keep doing that. You can't keep. It's criminal. It's criminal. If you want what Liverpool have had over the last few years, you want what City have had over the last few years, you've got to let the manager imprint get his whole imprint in and around the club. You have to let that happen.
You are right, though. No. Sorry, I was going to say to bottom duda, though, at the end of the day, like, I think Conte got some things wrong, but you're also right to bottom duda that Lloris has let him down major today. Sessegnon let him down yet again. I don't think Højbjerg covered himself in glory today really at all. I mean, Doherty didn't really make much of an impact, really, and he's had to put his faith in him. And then also, I mean, Kane like showed up in the first like 10 like kind of minutes, 20 minutes maybe, but then disappeared after that once we went a goal down. Sonny's disappeared all season, which we're going to have to talk about as well. So you are right in the fact that a lot of players have let him down. So that is also true as well.
Yeah. Big up the bottom, dude. I really appreciate support. My man, big yourself up, brother. Well, look, we're going to keep going. We have who's the next guest on? I believe it is Chris. Let's get him on. Oh, no. My bad. It's not Chris. It's Mr. Larson. Daniel, just take it away, my man. What's your thoughts on today?
I'm actually going to start with the bottom duda comment. You know, because maybe I'm a little bit wrong here, but I feel like, you know, okay, he has 3 years, you know, Arteta, but we were better than him last season, or just at the same level. How the fuck have they just completely hit the rocket when we have sinked so deep? You know, I'm struggling to understand that. So, but whatever, doesn't really matter now. The game.
I think just quickly on that, I think where the bottom dude is coming from is if you look at Arsenal's squad, it is what Arteta has wanted. You know, he kept the players he wanted. He got rid of the players that he wanted to get rid of. And, you know, all the signings that, you know, that have been made over the last 2-3 years are his. And that's where they're starting to see the benefits of it. I think that's where the bottom dude is coming from. I'm not so sure. I don't know. But anyway, sorry, Daniel. Yeah, on to the game.
Yeah. Well, for me, the game was lost before we started because of Sessegnon. I'm never gonna get my mind around that, why he started ahead of Perisic, because Perisic, first of all, is our most creative player this season. He's the one that creates from the side areas. If you have any chance, his crosses and corners and free kicks are the one most we scores. How we score goals, and Sessegnon is. I'm done with him, you know. Completely. I can't stand him now. And I don't like being like that. I don't want to say that I can't stand the person, but that's just how it is now. Just so dejected and all. Yeah.
100%. Look, for me, Daniel, I think he was brought in to be the, you know, I can understand the thinking behind it, the thought process behind it, that Perisic has been suspect defensively, but he's been one of our best players creatively. So you did take the creativity out the side, and he brought in Sessegnon. But Sessegnon is defending like he's scared. He's attacking like he's scared. He offered absolutely nothing. Like for Saka's goal, he knows Saka's looking to skin him, right? But get up to him on the edge of the box and get your tackle in. Stop dropping deeper and deeper and deeper. He allowed him that space to be able to get the cross, which he ended up blocking and went towards goals that Hugo Lloris piled in. But even before that, he had 2 crossing opportunities, good positions, get a good ball in. Yeah. He done fuck all with them. Look, he's finished. I don't want to see him anymore.
Yeah.
But look, what's your thoughts on Hugo today as well? And then we'll go on to Love Music's comment here about Conte.
Okay, well, the goalkeeper, I'm going to call him the goalkeeper because I don't want to say his name anymore. is a joke. He's just mentally not on it anymore. He's completely lost his will will to be a football player. He should just retire.
You have a gallery to
Just
choose from here, Daniel. Is that the worst one he's made this season? That one, I think,
yeah,
when you really
actually,
do think about it, it really is. It's because it wasn't even headed in.
no.
Like, it was an own goal. Like, it was an
Yeah, on
own
goal. I
goal
mean,
by
it
a
is.
goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's an own goal, and it doesn't get any worse than that. And people, and I don't want to say too much because it infuriates me. But I also, the midfield battle today was completely lost, of course, like everyone knows. I mean,
Should he have gone for
Ødegaard,
3 in midfield, or should Pierre just have stepped it up, do you think?
I don't think it would have mattered, to be honest, because we play with, like you said before, we play with three with before other games and got run over anyway. So they were just too good, Ødegaard, I mean, he ran the show. Like we knew that he's been the best player. He's probably been the best player in the Premier League recently, and you let him just run the show. I mean, the warning shot was there. Like 10 minutes before he scored, he had a similar shot that the goalkeeper saved. And then 10 minutes later, he gets to do the same thing, and of course, it goes in. Where is the goddamn. Where's the brains here? No
Yeah.
brains.
What do you make of the fact that also, it felt like anytime they pressed, Odegaard was just, wide open any single time,
Yeah.
for, a pass in between the midfield and the defense. He just kept taking up that little pocket in between the midfielders and in that back line. And I don't know, it was too easy for them, it felt like, especially for Odegaard.
Yeah, too easy. And he couldn't believe probably how easy it was. And also, we must be the easiest team to play against, in my opinion. We got to be one of the easiest team to just press the back line, because you saw that with Lloris, the goalkeeper's mistake first, when he just fumbled it. There you go. Then they have their edge on and be like, okay, now we know what to do. Just press, and they will fumble. And of course we did. After that, that was the beginning of the end. There when he passed it to no one, or he had a heavy touch, whatever.
Why that
Then
back
it
line
was
and the
lost.
goalkeeper stays the same, Daniel, it's always going to be the same. Every team will just come and
Yeah.
run at us, press that ball, harry it down, because they will kick it to you, they will header it to you, they will throw it to you, into a dangerous position. They play. Arteta said it in the All or Nothing. I'm sick of saying it.
Yeah.
At the end of last season, we play ourselves into trouble. The defenders just pressed them. But look, what do you make of Love Music's comment here? He says, I'll say it again, Conte gets 360k per week. Let that actually sink in. We are watching appalling football and I can't recognize my team. Poch in. But Daniel, it's the same football fans were celebrating last season that we enjoyed. We were smacking up teams. What's changed?
It is a little bit. It is different now. I thought we were more freely last season. So, but we can't really look at the money. Money in football are insane anyway. So we can't look at that, how much they pay, because it's insane anyway. But I don't know. I feel like the formation, of course, is not working. It's not. Between 5 in the back is not working anymore. But he's not going to change that because that's just who he is. He is that formation manager. But
True.
the football can become better because I know it is. I mean, I'm still going to remind people that Inter team he had was insane. He played so good football. You just need the right players. That's just my humble opinion there. Like, I'm still, I don't know.
Look, that's fair. That's fair. Look, Love's Music. No, I don't think anybody can sit here and defend the style of football at the minute. It's just like, it's the same tactics that worked for us last season that we played good football under last season. But, we've got more players in, but it looks worse. I mean, nobody understands it. And this is the biggest mindfuck about it. It's like, have the players lost interest? Has Conte lost interest? And if it's the case that either or has lost interest, we know what happens. Regardless, the manager goes. Look, it's not a comfortable time for anybody at Tottenham Hotspur right now, and all Love's Music. I'll be honest, if you bring back Poch, then the board is pissed about for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Should have stuck with him and backed him in the first place. It's been a waste of money, time, resources, fans' money, fans' time. completely pissed away the last 4 years for no reason if we end up bringing Poch back. You know, and bringing Poch back, he's still going to want to get rid of some of them losers. Some of them cost him his job. We can't forget that. You know, so he's still going to want to get rid of them and bring players in here. So regardless, that has to happen. But big up Loves Music. Really appreciate the support. But Daniel, where do we go from here then? As a fan base, as a club, what do we do?
I don't have a fucking clue where we go now. I don't know. I just it's just a downfall, you know, like Titanic at this moment in time. There's no saving it. It looks like. I just don't know. I'm sorry, but I don't have any clue what, you know. Just the players, Pedro Porro, get Pedro Porro in as quickly as possible. Fuck around with that, pisses me off as well. You should be in. You should have been in to play this fucking game. You know, that's what he should have been in at. And also defender. We should have fucking signed every play we needed right now, and we should have had him in. Look at fucking Chelsea. They're fucking useless, but they're still signing players. Fuck. They even fucking, what's his name, hijacked Mudryk, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Why can't we do stuff like that? Why can we hijack?
No, we need a Sunny alternative anyway.
Yeah, we need, and okay. Sonny, by the way, I'm sorry, but I think he just needs to leave now. I can't stand it anymore. He does nothing, and I'm sorry. I don't want to be like that, but I can't take it anymore.
He had that opportunity to score as well, and he did miss it, like, which is just sort of kind of typical of this whole season. He's had moments where even when he wasn't playing all that great, he gets into a scoring chance, you know, out of his own work, and then misses the chance. And it's like, you know, he's missed chances basically to be able to pick himself up, if you know what I mean, you know, throughout this whole season. Not like he hasn't had any chances. He's missed some glorious chances this season, like also as well. He's missed some sitters. Yeah.
The only time he was good was when he came on as a sub. Maybe that's what he has. Maybe that's what he needs to be, a sub. Maybe that's the solution.
Well, who do we put out though, Daniel? Like,
exactly.
We know Richarlison doesn't work out there. We've tried him out there for a couple of games. You know, that didn't work. It's kind of like, well, what do you do? Maybe the only thing you could do is swap Son and Kudo around and see if Son starts operating a bit better on the right or whatever, or bring in Gill. But bringing in Gill isn't necessarily the right answer either. I do think it's come to a point where, look, maybe you've got to give the kid a couple of a run of games, because at least he provides a bit of energy. At least he'll go and close people down. Not like today, you've seen our players just happy to drop back. You'd see Gill, he runs around after them, and look, maybe it is time. Maybe it is time, Daniel. But Daniel, anything else you want to touch on before we let you go, my man?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to touch on the fan that kicked Ramsdale. You are a disgrace of a fan, and we have enough violence in the world already. So violence is no place in the football pitch, or with fans. Banter and all that is great, but violence, no, thank you. You should be banned for life to attend the football game. That's all I want to say.
Spot on, man. No place for it whatsoever. I get it's a rivalry, this, that, and the other, and whatever else, but that shit doesn't need to happen. Spot on, Daniel. Daniel, beat yourself up, my man. Go and enjoy the rest of your evening. Hopefully Tottenham haven't ruined it.
They are doing their best, let me tell you.
I know.
See you soon,
I know. Look,
take
Daniel,
care, guys.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Catch you soon, brother.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
There you have it, guys. That's Daniel, you know, a regular, always on, a lot to say. Both 2 phone calls, 2 very unhappy people, and no one knows the right direction to go in either. Big up. Let's keep moving along. We've got another very, very unhappy guy here. We're going to bring him on. I'm not just going to let him go with it because it's he's angry. Chris, take it away, my man.
David, I'm not even angry. That's the worst thing. I'm just frustrated.
Disappointed, like Mio said. Yeah.
No, not even disappointed. Just pure frustrated. I don't even recognize this team anymore. I don't recognize the values they have. Well, I just don't recognize anything they do.
Well, what do we do? What do we do going forward, Chris? How do we get out of this mess? You know,
David,
everyone has different ideas.
David, I haven't got an answer for it. I haven't even got an answer for it. I don't know where we start. Where do we start on this? You've got Sessegnon letting the ball bounce over his head. He's just like a passenger watching the ball go towards Saka. Saka gets the ball, then you've got Lloris palms it in. Where do we go from there?
Is that his worst mistake this season, Chris? That's why I asked, and I know you probably have kept track, kind of like myself. Probably the worst mistake he's made.
Do you know what, Jack? There's been so many mistakes from Lloris this year. I'm just losing count, and I'm losing. I've told you, Jack. I dare mention Lloris because I get slagged off every single time. From the moment he made that,
think about what you want, man.
the moment he made that mistake in the 6th minute when he nearly cost us a goal, he was shaky from that moment onwards. And he brought an air of discontent in that defense, which made it even worse.
Mm.
If you can't trust your goalkeeper, you're screwed.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's also as well though, Chris. Like it feels like maybe the moment that these sort of mistakes happen, these sort of blunders happen. I don't know. Like we need more leaders in the squad that can pick everybody else up. But it feels like everybody's heads drop because it's also the captain. That's
Do you know what? Do you know the problem is, Jack? We haven't got no leaders on the pitch. There's not one leader on that pitch. Lloris may wear the captain's armband, but he ain't no captain. A captain's supposed to rally the troops, get them going. What's he doing? Standing there with his hands on his fucking hips.
Well, Chris, you're supposed to look at him you're supposed to look at him in tough times, right? You know, defender, you know, just coming back to you, he's shaky. You know, how does anybody else look round to him and go, you know, like they have any confidence? You know, he's seen him with Højbjerg somewhere in the second half. He could have just took the ball down, put it back to Hugo. He didn't want to do it. He'd rather kick it out for a throw-in.
Yeah.
You know, it's
you know what?
It's absolutely mindless. This guy is supposed to bring the calmness amongst the storm. You know, he's supposed to be the calmest one around there, giving people advice, getting them going. But if you're an outfield player, would you take advice from him with the shit he's doing?
Definitely not, David. He's supposed to be the captain, but the way I looked at it today, there was no captains on that. There was no captains on that ship. That was just free flowing, free sailing anywhere, any direction it wanted to go. It was absolute tripe. And I'm sorry, but today, Højbjerg.
Yeah, I find it hard to even say Højbjerg should be captain. Steve D put that in the comments there. Where's the shot for Højbjerg being captain?
Do you know what?
I mean, I've called for it in the past. It's hard for me to call it. The past 3 games of Højbjerg, it's been hard for me to call for that.
Jack, brutal truth is this. Since Dembele, we have not had a proper solid midfielder apart from Bentancur. The Højbjerg, Sarr, I can't ever call it Sarr. It's his first game today. And he tried his hardest. When you've got somebody like Højbjerg, who's supposed to be the experience, the hell? He was absolute dog shit today. Højbjerg was awful.
What was it? Is that he's getting bypassed, not defensively getting stuck in for you? What was it for you?
It was everything today, Jack. It was everything. His passing, his ability to track a run, his ability to clear a ball, to judge the flight of a header, to do anything right he done wrong. And you know what? It's just not him. It's every other player as well.
Yep.
I'm not defending it. Nobody's getting mollycoddled from me. Today's Son, absolute bollocks from him. Absolute crap. Again.
What do you make Huddles here where he says we were flying last season because of the Kane-Son combo? Opposition teams have catered for that tactically. And it's Conte's job to find a solution.
Yeah, it's Conte's job to find a solution, but playing the two midfield against Arsenal when they've got a free, biggest mistake from Conte. Conte has to take responsibility. Obviously, something's gone wrong between Son and Kane because somehow their communication skills have gone out the window. See, David, I've been hearing all this crap on social media about, it's Perisic's fault that Son's off form because Perisic is running into Son's space. Son's wing is a left winger. He should be the one running.
It's hard to make that excuse now. Yeah,
it's hard to make that excuse when Perisic was sat on the bench today.
And also plenty of other occasions where Sessegnon has been there, and Sonny was playing down the left against Portsmouth.
I don't even want, Jack. I don't even want to mention his name because he was that bad today. I don't care how he improved in the second half. It was the first half that mattered, and we were absolutely shit.
No one was saying he improved in the second half, surely. I mean, that's just, I don't know. Like, it's just, he was just shocking, or it's just, I don't know. I felt like that's one of the things I did say today that I think Conte did get wrong at the end of the day. He did get that wrong. I sort of tried to explain maybe what he was sort of thinking was maybe Perisic got, torn apart so much last time in the North London derby, but I don't know. Like Sessegnon has just been neither good defensively nor good going forward, and so he's just basically useless at this stage. And so I don't know. It's hard.
See, I really don't want to blame the defense for those 2 goals because it really wasn't the defense's fault. The second goal, they should have shut him down for the second goal, but
yeah, actually, the second goal is Lloris again, like slow to get down and slow to get across.
He was out of position. He's out of position. Any goalkeeper knows what he's going to do. Yeah. Any experienced goalkeeper, no. If that space is opening up, he's going for the shot.
It was less of a worldie of a hit than Partey's from the other.
Yeah. Oh, Jack, I don't understand. I don't recognize this team anymore. I don't recognize the free flowing Tottenham that I knew has gone. It's not there. There's no heart in that team. There's no spirit. They're like ghosts on the pitch.
Have they given up on Conte?
They have to go 2 goals. They have to go 2 goals down before they wake up.
Yeah.
They're giving up on Conte, do you think, Chris?
Do you know what? What was today with Conte's attitude is like 70th minute he decided to make his first substitution. I think it stems from right from the top to the coaches to the players. It's a poison arrow, which is all 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
And do you know what, David? I don't even think it's making any signings will make a difference. Or backing the manager will make a difference because the way they're playing at the moment, they just don't care. They're getting their wages at the end of the week. They don't give a toss if the supporters care or not.
Of course they don't. Of course they don't. Of course they don't. But Chris, I mean, what do you want to see this January? What do you want to see happen?
Well, I want to see Paratici for a start. Where's he gone?
I haven't a clue, lad. They're clearly keeping him out of sight, because of the Juve thing. But it doesn't give you any confidence. It leaves you questioning who's working because, they've had 2 weeks. We haven't seen anything.
David, it's this nonsense statement. Oh, we will talk after January transfer window. When you sign nobody and say, oh, well, we did try.
Yeah.
Prove it. Show us that you're trying. At least give us something to work with. Yeah. You can't give somebody shit tools and expect them to do a good job.
Yeah.
Because that's what Conte's got. He's got shit tools and he's working with what he got. Then everybody's going, but it's Conte's fault. It's not all Conte's fault. The tactics today, yes, were wrong. Players less over Perisic. Big mistake.
Mm. Yeah.
But I would have probably bought Basuma on a bit earlier. Or Andrew Charlton on a bit earlier. I would have bought him on earlier than 70th minute.
Yeah.
But you can't blame that all on Conte. You give a shit workman tools, they're going to do a shit job. Simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I've said it before.
I don't know where we're going, David. I don't know where we're going to go this season. For me, today was the last nail in the coffin for our season, I think, because the way we've gone downhill, we sunk quicker than the Titanic.
Yeah. We've fallen off a cliff. Look, performances are not going to pick up anytime soon. They're just
no, they're not.
Too many.
We see glimpses. We see glimpses of it. We scored 4 goals against Crystal Palace. Wow. Then it's back to the same dog shit again.
You've got too many players at it. Conte's had 2 good friends die over the last so close together. Nobody's at it right now, Chris. Nobody. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the solution is. I really don't.
Neither do I.
I don't think any of us do, Chris. But
today was the first game. Today was the first day, David. I was actually lost for words with how that team performed. It was just no words can explain how you feel. It's like you're watching your team just go down in flames.
And the only ones that suffer every week is us. Everyone else doesn't care. They're getting paid. You
got Daniel Levy sitting in the crowd, just no expression on his face. Conte's sitting there thinking, "This is the shit I've got to work with."
Yeah.
And the players thinking, "Well, that's all right. I don't care. I'll get paid at the end of the week."
Man,
do you know what I mean? This is how it is. And realistically, where do we go? Well, I ain't got a clue. Unless we bring 2 or 3 players in January, we're screwed. We're going to finish probably 8th or 9th. And this is not a joke. I can see us falling, David. David, I can see us falling.
That's where we were before Conte came in here. Look, Conte overachieved last season with the players that he had at his disposal. And it's probably coming back to haunt him now, to be honest with you. Because look, I knew them players. I knew them players that people were praising last season. But like, Dave, stop being a bore, get on board. I'm like, what's the point? I know they're going to let me down. I know they are.
I'm
Come
pretty
January,
Thursday.
we're sitting here talking about bringing in defenders. I just knew we were. And presto, here we are. But in fact, the board don't want to bring them in. They want to wait till the summer. It's crazy. We allowed Hugo. Like, yeah, we can say, oh, Conte picks Hugo Lloris. At the end of the day, it's hard to drop a club captain. Once you drop a club captain, it creates a lot of division, and he'll end up paying the price. We know this. The players have to say, Ben Davies went and got Nuno sacked. And it's just kind of like the club gave him a new contract at 34. They knew he was going to be in decline, but didn't go in and get anybody in that. They just want to kick it down the can. It's always down the road. We need 2 centre-backs now. Oh, well, we'll do it into summer. No, we can do it now. Get a goalkeeper, get a centre-back, get a right wing back. Do it now. Not the summer.
That's exactly it, David. That's exactly it, David.
Constantly have this grind every time. Sit there and pray for a performance off them every fucking game. I've had enough.
David, this is why I'm dreading Thursday against Man City. This is why I'm absolutely dreading it. Because I could just see a repeat of exactly what happened today on Thursday. And I'll tell you what, I can't watch 2 painful experiences in a week like that. That's just too much to bear.
Yeah.
Because we're going to do this. Rinse, repeat, do it again. Rinse, repeat, do it again. Same old Tottenham. Oh, we'll have one good 33 minutes. Wow. Do it for fucking 90 minutes, you cunt. Excuse my language, but do it for 90 minutes. That's what you're paid to do. Don't do it for 33 minutes. Yeah. You're all paid to do it for a reason. David, sorry, but you know what? The thing is, Dave, right now, what I don't get is, they'll come out for 25 minutes in the second half. But we did try. So why did you drop the rest of the game?
It's not us going out there performing spectacular. Teams drop off us, which allows us to play in their half. It's, that's what I said. I don't want to hear anybody say to me today, oh, but, you look at the stats. Don't care about the stats because Arsenal dropped off in the second half. They allowed us to improve our stats.
Exactly.
Fed up with it. But look, Chris, we've got to keep this moving, my man, because I need dinner at some stage today, brother. But really appreciate the call in, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.
No problem.
Big up, Chris, my man.
Big up, my man. Really good call in from Chris there. Angry as ever. I hate seeing Chris like that. I really do. But look, let's keep this moving. Who is next in? It is Elias. Elias, how are you keeping, bro? You're on mute, my man.
Sorry. Well, I think you all know me. I'd be rather positive, even though the worst possible scenarios happen. But tonight is just one of those nights. Like, if I don't research positivity and
don't even
where
try
to
to find
positivity,
it.
also I don't know where to search for it. Even it's about 6 a.m. at night, and I think I've stayed the whole night to just ponder upon, like, okay, show me the positivity in this game, and I cannot find anything positive about the entire game. And like what Mia said, I won't say that I am rather disappointed, but somehow tonight's performance made me a little bit indifferent to some sort. Like, I have a lot to say about what happened in the game, what's happening in the squad, what's happening on the pitch. A lot of things just don't go here with each other. A lot of things don't match. One side you see Conte just giving that same scripted interview again. Oh, okay, our side played well and all that nonsense. Sorry, I was a bit annoyed just now. I listened to the interview that Conte just gave. That how can you say that performance was good? For goodness sake. Like, come on, man. That performance, any small child, any blind man also can tell that actually that performance was awful. It was an awful performance. I think I've seen the entire season. And that man go on the pitch and defend his players and say, oh, okay, my players gave their best, and they were, oh, bullshit, man, seriously. That was a bad performance. I mean, I usually don't get that mad over a performance like that. It made my heart cry, the after the game when I saw the Gooners roaming all over the pitch. That was sad, man. That was sad. That was sad to see the way they roam over our stadium like if they
Yeah.
own that place. That was so sad to see. And
Oh,
I don't know if these players even understand those sentiments and even understand those feelings that the fans go through these times. And one other thing I'm gonna say to some people out there on the chats or on the YouTube or whatever, please don't blame fans for any of this. These fans don't deserve any of the blame that happened today. They don't deserve any of that. It's awful. Like, come on, man. The kind of decisions that you made on the formation doesn't match with the kind of players you have, the kind of performance you give, and I mean the kind of subs even you make. I mean, for one point, I was wondering, like, what is Richarlison? Why is Richarlison coming for Doherty? Is he going to be a wing back? Like, what kind of formations are even coming out of your subs? Your subs even don't make sense, and the sub is coming at a 65th minute, for goodness sake, when you're 2-0 down in the first half. It
I think
all
at that
just
point, though, Elias, I think just on the subs, I think if he didn't try and change it up and change formation and go with two up top, people have said, why is he not changing things? You know what I mean? We're at this point. It's kind of like no matter what he tried, we all knew it was over when the second goal went in. It didn't matter what he tried. We all knew they weren't coming back today. And on
yeah.
that, look, I don't blame Conte. What went wrong, Elias? This is what I want to know. What went wrong from the beginning? Because they're all out there high-fiving, fist pumping, putting on their faces for the camera. We need business. We're ready. And then they shot themselves. What went
Yeah.
wrong? How does that happen? Like, and what is these slow starts about? Is it down to, something simple like a Hugo Lloris today, but it's been Højbjerg another day, Dyer other days, Davies other days, there's so many different players other days, doing stupid things? Or is it down to the way that we are put out there on the pitch? That's the instructions from Antonio Conte.
Honestly, to be honest, I mean, I'm not. I've not lost my trust in Conte, but I'm a bit critical of him, as I was saying in the chat, that if you are working in any company, you're doing any job, you're doing any business, all of this at some level requires some form of an accountability. And I think Antonio Conte is never greater than that as well. He has to be accountable for his decisions as well. And right now, I think we are forgetting to see that. At one side, at one side we see that there is a group that actually wants Inigo out, Levy out, and all that. And I think we are too focused on that we sometimes forget to see that actually the managers are making the mistakes as well. It's not just no longer about the ownership or whatever. Like, for example, you asked me the question today. I personally feel that the decisions of the field, for example, like what Mia was saying, when you know that you have you have a midfield like Arsenal, why would you go with a two-man midfield, even though when you know that actually one of your biggest midfielder or one of your strong midfielders are out injured, he's not even on the bench? In that sort of a situation, I don't think it makes even any form of sense to go with a two-man midfield when you have a junior player like Sar playing.
Can I ask
For
you this,
goodness sake,
Elias?
I don't want to take any credit off Sar. Sar is a good player, but even though he's not there yet, he has that
Run into the
potential.
deep end a
Can I
little.
just
Yeah.
can I just mention on the two in midfield? I get it. For me today, I could foresee the problems coming. I think everybody could. Party's been mopping up all, everything that's going that way towards their goal all season long. Him and Xhaka, and then Odegaard has been the ones pulling the strings. But we can sit here and say, well, why didn't he go with a tree? But in reality, we've seen us in a tree. We've seen it. We had this conversation about 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Oh, let's play a tree. He plays a tree. It's even worse.
At times
Or
it
we
has
just don't
been
create.
better. At times it has been better, bro. Like, I remember there were certain games where we did play better when we were on the three, because certain you need to see the tactics, what kind of tactics suit the other team as well. With a team like Arsenal, I think if you would have played a three, you could have avoided a lot more damage. Let's say if you play a three and you are a bit more a defensive thing, you might be able to not score goals. For instance, you might lack that creativity that you have as a wide winger, but you could still avoid that horrific loss that we had, the shambolic loss that we had. You can still get 1 point with a draw, at least, even if you go with that sort of a mindset in with a 3-5-2, because you want to defend, you want to see, because the kind of midfield that today you had, there's no way that actually you can take over the Arsenal midfield when you have players like Yaka, Party, and Odegaard. They are playing such a creative system. That's one thing. The other thing is, I mean, I wanted to point out that the teams between Arsenal and Spurs, the difference is not much. The team that we played last season in the North London derby and the team we played there, if they have like two players new, I think we also got like two players new. But we can clearly see that the level of the pace, the way they play, a lot of their former players who were in that team, they have increased in their skill. They have improved their skills, they have improved their pace, they have improved their physicality. Whereas our players, I feel we have regressed even worse. We have regressed in the
Spot on.
past. For example, we have regressed, and I think, and this is a classic example. You are not a manager who is just supposed to come and buy players only, and or you're supposed to just improve certain position by, okay, you get this right wing back, you get this center back and all that. You are supposed to work with the current squad you have. You are supposed to help them improve their level and their skill as well. I
I
don't
hear
think
that,
that that's
Elias. I hear that, right? But in reality, you know, a lot of these guys played under Jose. They done the
yes.
same thing. They perform well, and then we say the same thing. Oh, it's up to him to continue to develop them. We've done the same under Nuno. We're now doing the same under Conte. When is it on some of these actual players at times to hold themselves accountable that they progress? At the end of the day, we can keep sitting here and blaming managers, but when it's 3, 4 managers in a row, how can you keep blaming them for these guys not to continue to progress? A lot of these players we're talking about now, before it was a lot of these fringe players now of Potter's squad that found themselves in the team, but now it's carrying over to other players like Son, Lloris, Højbjerg, people like that. But when do we actually hold these players accountable? Because for the last 3, 4 years, it's been so up and down. You'll have a good 6 months, and then you'll have a horrible 6 months. But you can't. I'm sorry, when it's 3, 4 different managers, it can't keep being the manager. It just can't. When are we going
I'm,
to
I'm
hold these guys accountable for being shit or not holding their own standards high enough? A manager can't make them do it if they don't want to do it.
Bro, that's true actually, but I think I'll disagree slightly on that fact, because if you look at the current team that we have, among the last 3 or 4 managers, a lot of personnel has changed as well. For example, now if you feel that, okay, this personnel is not giving in, then okay, play someone else. Play that player that you bought recently in the summer. For example, if Lloris is not working well, why can't you play Fraser Foster? I know maybe the problem might be that, okay, if Fraser Foster then makes a mistake, I think the same problem would come again, or people would say, okay, why did we play Fraser Foster? Because he's just a backup goalkeeper. He's not even our first choice. Then, but he has been better, I think, in Lloris in certain departments right now. He hasn't made those mistakes as Lloris has made. Sorry, were you pointing at me? Foot was,
No,
or
no,
was
no. I
it
was saying to DB, he says the football wasn't as bad under Jose. I think people are forgetting how much they wanted Jose out at the time, how quick they were to get him out of
honestly,
here, and how bad it was.
Jose was
It's similar.
worse.
I'm not even going to argue what's worse. It's similar right now. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. But honestly speaking, you see certain players, they perform very well when they are at other clubs, and we look at them. For example, you look at likes of Bissouma, you look at likes of Scape. Some of these players, they were better in other clubs. Suddenly they come into our team, and I don't know whether it's the system, whether it's the training system, whether it's the fitness system, but I don't think it's that. You got some of the best facilities out there in the Premier League in our club. Could it be that right now, I personally feel, this is just my opinion, yeah, it may be far from the truth, but I feel that there are a lot of politics going on right now within the club.
100%.
Politics are being alleviated right now over the performance and over giving all out for the team and for the badge. Because I personally feel that right now, everybody kind of wants, like, maybe the management out, or some people want the management, or the owners out. All these things are coming in. I can clearly feel it right now, and this is unhealthy right now within the structure of the club, and this shouldn't stay like this. Because honestly speaking, this kind of team performed better. I mean, the kind of team that we had today was much better than the kind of team we played in some of the games last season. They used to play attractive football. I mean, the second half of last season was much better than this. If, let's say, Conte were to go to Levy right now and say, okay, I want this player, I don't want this player and that player, even any boss would say, okay, you have achieved a lot more than this kind of squad in the past before. Why can't you do the same thing that you did in the second half of last season now? I agree, some fans might say, okay, the other teams have improved a lot and all that, but now you are playing a team like Arsenal, who hasn't improved that much in terms of buying players. They have improved in terms of their training and their physicality and the aspect that they have put into the training ground. Why can't we do the same? And I think again, like what you pointed out, the players have to be asked these questions of what are they getting paid for. Footballers get some of the highest salaries in the world. The kind of mistakes that players like Loris Dyer and all these nonsense have been making, honestly, it sometimes does piss me off, to be honest. I know that some of these players, I do love some of these players as well, because I've seen the best of that. But that love also, I'm angry at that love. Like what Mia said, that as parents, sometimes we do love our kids as well, but we get angry, like, why? You can do much better than that. I've seen Højbjerg doing much better than that. I've seen Son doing much better than that. Why can't you give that all out on the pitch right now? It's really, and some on the North London derby is shambolic.
Yeah, spot on. Absolutely spot on. Look, today is just not acceptable. It's kind of like there's problems everywhere. The playing squad is a mess. Look, they've tried to go about in the summer and get buddies in here to beef it up and, cover up how bad it really is getting. The fact that nobody's seen the rapid decline of Hugo Lloris or Son this season has added to that. They haven't been, the board haven't been able to get Conte's contract signed, haven't been proactive in the market. Conte, it looks like, look, for me, I think I would have made changes at halftime if I was the manager. I would have made changes and walked them the fuck up. Would have said it's not acceptable anymore. Look, I get where people are saying drop Hugo Lloris and bring in Fraser Forrester, but in reality, it's not that simple. Steven Gerrard went into Aston Villa, took the captaincy off Tyrone Mings. It cost him his job. There's huge consequences of dropping a captain, this, that, and the other. The reality is right now is we're just a fucking mess, and no one has any idea how to get it going forward. The only thing I know is that fans have to try and come together instead of pulling apart from each other. That's the only thing I know. But Elias, good call today, my man. Steve D absolutely loving the call, and he says, I see you, Elias. Big up, Steve D. But Elias,
I get like this once a year. Sorry, because I definitely hate Gooners. I don't want to see us losing to them. I would tolerate losing us to anybody, but not to Chelsea and Arsenal. That's something that I really cannot tolerate. And today has reached my
for a lot
limit.
of people, my man. Big up, Elias.
Spot on.
Good call on, my man.
Elias, thank you for your time this evening. And look, go and enjoy the rest of your evening, my man.
But still, come on, you Spurs.
Always. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Elias. Big up, my man. Absolute great call in there from Elias. A very good call, actually. Really enjoyed that. Don't agree with it all, but I agree with a lot of what he said. Big up, Elias. Who's next? Is it Jerome? Yes, it's Jerome. Let's get him on. Let's hear what he has to say. Jerome, how are you keeping, my man?
I'm pissed. I'm really, really, really fuming right now. I'm not going to waste too much of your time. I know you guys have other things to do.
No.
But today I'm fuming. I'm furious. Once again, those players, same one, never change. Always the same crap with them. Always letting us down when it matters. And you would see probably on Thursday they're going to have the game of their life against Man City. But I don't give a shit. Today we lost. We lost against Arsenal twice, man, in this season, twice to fucking Arsenal. I can't believe this. This is absolutely ridiculous. And the way we played today, what the hell is this? Hugo Lloris, twice, both North London derbies. You telling me twice? He made twice, 2 hours, twice in a fucking North London derby. Are you being serious? And again, for France, he's been doing so much great things for them. And now look at us. Look for us. He can't even do something right.
I don't even think he was good for France.
Seriously.
I think people were covering up for him, to be honest, Jerome. I was watching his games for France. It wasn't even good. But also the thing is, Jerome, this whole week we were talking about, we made clangers in that North London derby last time. We made huge mistakes that led to the giving up the goals. And we were just saying, just this time out, don't give them that, those legs ahead. Don't, shoot ourselves in the foot. I mean, what does Hugo do? He shoots himself in the foot and he gives them that leg ahead that this was like the major talking point the whole week. I mean, if you were listening, and it's just, I don't know, it's you think you would talk it to death so that it wouldn't happen, but it did happen. Still, it just shows.
Nah, it happens against every freaking season. I can see it. Every single mistake we make, the whole team, their head just goes down. Every time. Every fucking season, man. Every time. I see it all the fucking time. One mistake. Anyone makes one mistake, their whole head drops down and they stop playing football. I mean, like, what the hell is this? I'm being sick and tired. It's been 8 fucking long years of the same goddamn players we've been having. The same one, but has the same stupid losing mentality as we have right now. We need more players that are more hungry, more wanting. And Højbjerg today, what the hell is this? So does that mean any young players that plays next to him, he can't play football anymore? He's just being scared all the time. Look at when Bentancur is there, he's a changed man. He can play football like crazy. Now look at that Saar next to him, trying his best, and Højbjerg can't do nothing. Absolutely ridiculous, man. And I'm so sick of them right now. I am so angry because the thing is, we just imagining us losing twice to fucking Arsenal, man.
It's hard to
Arsenal.
take. I feel the pain.
I can't take this.
No, nobody can. Nobody can. Everyone that's come on here is absolutely pissed today. But look, I do have another question for you. It's kind of like, where do we go from here? Because, there's so many reasons why we're in this mess. But what I know is this can't continue and we have to find a way out of it. But before maybe you answer that, Jerome, I mean, where do you put the blame today? Do you put it solely on the players? Do you have any questions about Conte today? Where are you at with it all?
No, I think the blame needs to go both ways. Players and Conte. Conte is getting on my nerves right now. He's being a one-trick pony right now. We are being outclassed in the midfield the whole game. You don't make any changes. You stick to your 3-4-3. You are so stubborn to be sticking to that kind of play. I know you need your players. I know you need players that can fit in your system. But my goodness, change the game, my God. Change something. Do something. We are losing 2-0. Do something. And there's nothing done. It's the same thing over and over again. That team, I'm so sick of them, and the players every time. First half, don't do anything. Jose, same thing. Don't do anything. Second half, change. They start playing football. Have to be 2-0 down, 1-0 down, something down every time, man. How is that even possible? How is that even possible to have a team that plays only for 45 fucking minutes? We started the game well, and as soon as our goal went in, heads drop, nothing. Nothing after that. And second half, then that's when they start playing and think, oh, we're 2-0 down. We got nothing to lose. Now let's play football. Fucking hell, man. I'm so sick of them. I'm so sick of it. It's like I'm tired. I can't recognize this team anymore. I can't see how on earth are we saying we're still a big club if we're playing shit like this. Every team is going to go, they are easy to play in the first half. Always. They're going to be the same thing, not going to do anything. We're just going to wait and see what we do. All we have to do is pressure them and score.
Do you feel like, yeah, Dave, yeah.
I was going to say, did we really wait 3 transfer windows on the potch with no signing for the stadium to sit there and witness this shit at it? It's kind of like, it's unbearable. But go on, Jack, go on, because then I want to find out after all, is there any solutions on this going forward, or where do we start? Because we're in a mess right now. But Jack, what were you going to say?
I was just going to ask something we haven't really asked in depth today. Jerome, I mean, Sonny's, been kind of the main culprit of this all season when it comes to missing chances. But I mean, I also think, Arsenal, they were the better team at the end of the day, but Spurs actually missed some pretty good chances to actually maybe get something, claw back in the game. Sonny missed a good one. Kane missed a good one. Kulusevski missed some. Sessegnon missed some. I mean, I don't know. Sonny, maybe you should touch on. What do you make of the fact that he still hasn't come good yet? He still hasn't been able to sort of find his form yet this season.
Look, with Sonny, I'm sorry. He has to be dropped. I think age is catching up. He's getting tired as well. He can't play every single game, World Cup, and every game that we play, FA Cup, Carling Cup, Champions League, World Cup. I mean, come on. Give a guy a break. As soon as you dropped him last time against Leicester, he came in and scored a hat-trick within 15 minutes. He had a rest. Give the guy a rest. The same for Kane. Give him a rest. Richarlison is back now. Let's put him at the front. Let's see what he does. We bought a striker for a reason. I know he's injured and everything. Now that he's back, let's try and see. And freaking hell, during that, we're saying we want Trossard. Why the hell we don't go and get Trossard? Porro has it release clause. Why the hell are we not going and pay for that fucking release clause already? We're just wasting time and just talking about Pedro Porro over freaking time. But it's all. And to answer your question, David, It's all about recruitment. We need better recruitment. That's what we need. If you're going to go for Pedro Porro is a good right back. Will it fit as a right wing back? God knows who he's going to fit as well. He's a great right back. But I don't know about the right wing back. Will it be fit for us? Don't know. Don't know at all. But everybody's talking about Pedro Porro now. But if you want that player, show that you are a serious club and go and pay that fucking £45 million or euros or whatever it is. Just go and pay for it. And Trossard wants out of Brighton. Go and get the guy. It's a simple thing. He's already been phased out of the team in Brighton. Just go and get him.
Yeah.
Wasting
Here's
time.
the thing, though, Jerome.
Wasting time.
Here's the thing, though. You know, they were able to go and do something like that with Basuma over the summer. So why are we sitting here pissing about in the January transfer window when, you know, we need to act fast? And I know some people say, oh, well, look at other clubs, you know, this, that, and the other. I don't care about other clubs. I care about what Tottenham's needs are. And it was clear to see, you know, in order to help this team, bring in at least Pedro Porro, you know, the release clause. You could have had him in here the 1st of January. Why are we still sitting here on the 15th waiting?
Yeah, exactly. That's what we need. We know what the target was. If you want a winger and a right wing back, then go and get them. If you want an attacking midfielder, go and get that player. Whichever it is, try and get it. But all we're doing around is pussyfooting around and not doing anything. This club is an absolute joke. Yeah. Like, to be honest, it's an absolute joke. From top to bottom, it's an absolute joke. And today just proved everything about us. We just lost twice in a season to fucking Arsenal. Just that sinking, okay? And I'm telling you, on Thursday, we're probably going to have the game of our life. We're probably going to go and beat Man City, and everything's going to be forgotten because we beat Man City. No, I'm not forgetting this. I am never going to forget that 2 losses in a season to fucking Arsenal. And that's going to remain with them forever. This is an absolute joke. Yeah. And I'm so pissed right now. It's unbelievable. I've never been so angry at that. And just to see them in our stadium, prancing around and calling us names and everything. This is the worst thing I have to go through. It's an absolute joke.
Large in our stadium, running around celebrating, that killed me at the end. I had to turn it off. Actually, I just couldn't watch it. I couldn't watch it. I've seen videos, but it's killer. It's an absolute killer. It's fucking horrible. It's disgraceful, actually. You know, your closest rivals should not be allowed to come beat you up the way they did on the football pitch. But then also, you know, get the fans revved up, give it to our fans, giving it large. You know, we can't do that in the bow. The players didn't defend us on the pitch. And then they're running around celebrating down with the away end on our stadium. Oh, Mike, I'll never forget this. You know, we need that. Well, there will be revenge one day in my lifetime. And my God, am I going to fucking enjoy it. But yeah, you're right, Jerome. It's an absolute.
But we were properly beaten. They properly beat us. They properly beat us. Because everything we tried to do in the second half was too late. Too late. Yeah, too little, too late.
Outmoved us, won every second ball. Any tackle they went into, they won. They absolutely ragdolled us around our place. We were weak and spineless. Embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. But Jerome, anything else you want to say before we let you go, my man?
Nothing else for me to say, David. Only thing is, let's just keep going. But that's it for me. I'm just like, I am not letting this loss go. Never going to let this loss go. Because every time this team going to perform the same way, this is that loss against Arsenal that always going to come back to me. This is
let you forget.
The one. We should never forget this. Like, all fans should be making them remember. We lost to Arsenal twice, and we lost at home 2-0. Without even doing anything, and they properly beat us at home. This is something that we should always let them remember, and that badge that it is on them, they didn't play for it at all. That badge meant so much for us that it meant for them. So just let them remember this. That's all we have to do.
Absolutely spot on. And you know what, Jerome? You've even got Arsenal fans saying we won the league at Tottenham again. Absolute. It's killer. It's a killer, but you're right. Do not forget this, you know. Well, I won't anyway. No. But sad. It's the for me, I don't. We're not getting top 4. We ain't getting Champions League this year. Look, I know last
I'd
year
rather
I
we don't
called
get
it,
anything.
I can see it, but this year it ain't happening.
Yeah,
Jerome,
no. I'd rather we don't
hopefully
get
we
anything.
get
Top
you
4,
tomorrow.
whatever. Yep, we'll talk again.
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully you
See you,
get
boys.
on tomorrow, my man. Let's have a conversation. Let's go into in depth on a few more things. Maybe we'll have a conversation about Son and a few other things, my man. But really appreciate your time today. Great calling.
Great
Look,
call.
it kills me seeing you the pain you're in. It kills me. You know, you're angry, and to be honest, you're not like this. It's the first time I've seen you this angry.
No,
Shows how much has gone to you. It's sad, man.
No.
It's sad. But Jerome, brother, pick
Thanks.
yourself up and we'll speak again
Top
soon.
man.
Thank you for your time.
See you soon, brother.
See you, boys.
Catch you, Jerome.
See you, Jerome. Big up, my man. There you are, ladies and gentlemen. That's Jerome. Absolute great call in. It kills me seeing the pain on his face. It really does. Really does. It's sad to see. Got a super chat here from Dan. He says, I think age as well is catching up with Son. Come on, you Irish Army, Dan. It's starting to look that way, my man. It is starting to look like that. I didn't want to give up on Sonny, but this run has been going on for too long. You know, it's getting to the point where he's not really offering anything whatsoever. You know, anything he touches just doesn't come off. I'm kind of at the point now where, look, I'll give him the City game because he loves scoring against City. But if he doesn't perform, get Gill in there at this point. Get Gill in there, get Richarlison in there. I'll have to suffer through it. You know, maybe Son just needs to be dropped for a while. I didn't think it was the case. Maybe he needs to be dropped for a while now for him to start performing again, my man. But big up, Dan Coyce.
Just need a Sonny alternative. Just need someone like Trossard, or Zaha or whatever, basically, that can just be just someone else that can just fill in and actually provide the goals and assists that we need from that flank. And it's just what we've been crying out for this season. It's just been kind of Kane all on his lonesome this season. And then Kulusevski hasn't been consistently available. And Sonny's played virtually every game. He hasn't really had any injuries or anything for the most part, apart from maybe what happened, with the face. But like, let's be honest, his form wasn't even good before that. Like, so it's tough, Dan. It's tough, my man. Do we get to this one, Dave, from the bottom Duda?
Oh, no.
The same fans, the bottom Duda says, shouldn't change their narrative from we want a trophy to we're happy with exciting football if Poch comes back. This is a project. I mean, listen to bottom Duda. I think we brought this up before, but they would be admitting to, or at least we have to recognize they'd be admitting to so many mistakes, the Spurs board, if they were to go back to Pochettino. They basically would just be practically just, I don't know, they just admitting to a waste of, what is it, Dave? Been 4 years, 5 years of a merry-go-round then if they went all the way back to Pochettino. It just feels like it would just be such a waste of time, just a complete, just sort of kind of a, I don't know, just F you to the fans, really, in some stage. Just not backing Pochettino, then going through all these other managers, only go back to Pochettino because fans really just want the exciting football. I don't know. It's exhausting at this stage to bottom dude. And if it does end up going back to that, it does just admit to the fact that the board just made a mistake all along in getting rid of Pochettino, because they should have just stuck with him if they were going to go to these other managers that were supposed to be the serial winners, but they never backed the serial winners.
One thing I can tell you for sure, bring Poch back in, we're still not going to win it then. He doesn't have it when in the big games. He may get us there, but he doesn't have the nous to get us over the line. He just doesn't, He just doesn't. We ain't winning anything if Poch comes back here. We're just not. It's that simple. Look, I agree with you. I think, we shouldn't be going, we want a trophy and then settling for, we want exciting football, because it's accepting defeat. And I know some are going to say, well, I'd rather exciting football because we're not going to win a trophy under Conte. But then why would you put resources into building under Poch knowing you're not going to win a trophy when you should be doing it under Conte, who has got a good track record over it, who, when he gets you there, if you continue to back this guy, he'll get you over the line in them games. I don't understand it, to be honest with you. I really don't. But big up the bottom, really appreciate the support, my man. But look, let's keep this going. Who's next, Jack? Was it Michael or KPV? I can't remember who's in there first.
I think it's Michael next.
Michael, let's get him on. Big up, Michael. How are you, my man?
So, boys, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, loud and clear, brother. Loud and clear. Look, what you make of that today?
I'm somewhere between fuming and and not giving a fuck. Like so somewhere in between. So I'm not really at the point where when I start like cussing, screaming, and all that stuff. But I'm also at the point where honestly, when the Lloris mistake happened, I was just off in that moment. 15 minutes is all I cared about in this game. For 15 minutes, I was actually passionate and emotional about this game. And as soon as the Lloris mistake happened, I just switched off. Literally, I watched the game with my girlfriend, and first 15 minutes I was like cussing out players, screaming swear words in Polish, going, I won't cite it because that's not, I don't want to get you guys demonetized, right? But but as soon as the Lloris mistake happened, I honestly, I just died.
Deflating.
Yeah, it was just deflating. I just died inside, and honestly, listen, I think everyone is at fault at this club for this game. It's literally it's the players for not turning up, not showing the balls, not giving a fuck like fans do. It's the ownership for allowing Arsenal to absolutely leapfrog us and actually put us in the bin. That's what happened, right? They are miles off. Like, sorry, we are miles off them, right? They are just they are brilliant. You have to admit that, right? For the past, like, what, guys, 2 months, I've been banging on this drum that I think that what they did at their club is, from footballing perspective, is respectable. What they did, that they, as I always say, they decided on a plan, they decided on the steps, and decided on a target, and they are fulfilling this plan to every single point, like they decided they will do, right? Meanwhile, in our club, we have bums like Hugo Lloris still playing at the club, and again, we say this pretty much every single week. Brilliant servant to the club. Thank you for all the memories. It's time to go. It's simple as that, right? I think that today our center backs, I know they put the ball out in the stands a couple of times. I know the passing was horrendous, right? But in terms of sheer defending, I actually think they weren't that bad. I think I expected Dyer to drop a stinker again. I expected, one of our defenders to drop the stinker. It came from Hugo this time. It's like fucking Russian roulette, but the gun has 6 bullets in the chamber instead of 2, like, or 1 in a Russian roulette, right? You just pick and choose which guy will fuck up today, right? Because it's always one or the other. It's always Dyer. When it's not Dyer, it's Lloris. When it's not Lloris, it's Sessegnon. When it's not Sessegnon, it's Davies. When it's not Davies, it's Langley. When it's not Langley, it's Doherty. You just can't get enough of it, right? And like, really, what I will say this: I had hope, and I had, like, false belief that those players are good enough to put up a fight, in my opinion. But
We all did.
but in hindsight, I kind of deep inside knew that this will probably end like this, right? But I think today we really couldn't do anything to prevent that loss. I don't think any formation or personal change on that pitch would prevent the outcome that happened, right? I don't think that playing. Yeah,
you just think a lot of it falls down to the players' effort then, or the players' commitment?
I just think it's not only players' effort but also players' quality.
Yeah,
I just think that
of course,
there is like certain point where, like, if you gave Pep Guardiola to one of the, like, Polish teams in the Polish league, and gave one of the Polish coaches to Manchester City, I swear 99 matches will be won by the City's team with the Polish coach who is a bum, right? Just because there is a certain point when nothing tactically that you do will change the outcome of the match when your players are not good enough to perform the task that you give them, right? And but with that said, I don't think that Conte is without blame for this match. As I said, every single step of the ladder, in my opinion, is at fault for today. I think that again, everything has its counter argument, in my opinion, because I can say that Conte was too late to react to what was happening on the pitch. But then again, you look at the bench, what was he supposed to do, right? I know Brian Hill is energetic and he can dribble or whatever, but in a match against a team like Arsenal are right now, he's not going to change anything, right? And but then again, I did a call in today with the We Are Tottenham TV, right? And there I said that football sometimes is not only about being rigid and fulfilling a tactical plan. Sometimes it's about being brave, imagine, creative and doing something risky. And that's what, in my opinion, what we lacked today on the pitch. I know there were some players that attempted something, risky dribbling, getting past players or whatever, right? Mainly Kulusevski, although he was off his game today. I give him, I will give him slack because not slack. I give him a pass because he's coming back from an injury, so he can be rusty. But with what I said about Hill, that he is not really changing the game, I think. And in his mind, Conte probably is thinking that, but sometimes I think you just have to risk it. You just have to, throw a fucking kitchen sink at it and, hope for the best, right? Because clearly, with how we were set up today at the beginning of the match, it was not working. Our defenders all three of them today were not capable of providing good long balls towards our front line, right? This means that our front three had to drop back, receive the ball to feed from them. But when our front, when Kane receives the ball in the middle of the pitch and Son is closer to our goal, than he is to the opposition goal, then what the fuck is Kane supposed to do, right? Last season, when this situation happened, Son was ready to pounce. Son was ready to go, right? This season, all three of them, Kulusevski, Son, and Kane, had to drop so far back to receive the ball and to try to progress with it, that even if we take the ball off Arsenal, right, and we do two quick passes to Kane, their defenders are closer to the goal than everyone from our team is, right? So we cannot really do the counter-attacking style thing, because there is no counter-attack when you start the counter-attack with the defenders closer to the goal line, right? To their goal, right? So I think with last season, our backline overperformed massively. All five of them overperformed massively, even including Romero, in my opinion. I think that last season he was way, way better than he is this season. And I think that gave us our recruitment team and our owners, it gave them a false sense of security with that backline. They actually, I think, in their mind, they thought that they can invest in other areas. That is stronger than it is, and it gave them the allowance to invest in other areas, because they thought that we are actually securing the backline. We are unfortunately not securing the backline, and this system struggles when the defense line is not performing up to a certain standard, right? We've said it plenty of times. I think this formation is really hard to pull off. It requires players who are professionals at their trade. It requires a left-footed centre back who is perfect with the pings on his balls. It requires a right centre back who is brave and who also is good at playing with the ball at his feet. It requires a strong and commanding centre back who is a leader in that backline, right? We lack pretty much all three of them. I know that Lenglet and Romero can ping a good ball, but sometimes they don't. And unfortunately, I think we need a better left centre back. I think Romero can grow into a centre back fit enough for that system, right? We need a change in the center of the back three. On the left, Sessegnon, not good enough. Crosses weren't good enough. You know, I know he got into one or two like good attacking situations, but he's 23 years old and he was getting absolutely ripped apart by Saka. Saka was having a laugh like every time he attempted to dribble at Sessegnon, right? And I think that I kind of get why Conte wanted to put Sessegnon there instead of Perisic, because Perisic is older and whatever, right? But I don't think it would have made a difference because like there was such a big gap in
I don't think it makes
Saka's
a
and
difference.
Sessegnon's
If
quality.
Sessegnon is going to be that shit defensively, it doesn't really make a difference. Like Perisic probably couldn't have done any really worse. I think,
and worse, yeah.
So that's
and
where it was a mistake. Yeah.
And actually, with Doherty, I don't think he played that bad today. I think that Martinelli was kind
I
of
don't think he was the
neutralized
worst on the
today.
pitch by any means. Yeah.
But I also think Arsenal meant to target Sessegnon because, like, if especially in the first half, every single ball that they attempted was going to the right side, not the left side, right? I kind of think that they knew that the left side will be more secure with Romero and Doherty there than it was with Lenglet and Sessegnon, because Sessegnon is just too bad and Lenglet struggles with fast players who run past him, which is exactly what Saka is, right? Midfield, I can't really blame Sar. It was like it's mad to put a 19-year-old kid in his Premier League debut against
game today, you know, by
I actually think he had a decent game. Højbjerg, it's hard for me to criticize the guy because like he was pretty much most often 1-against-2 or 1-against-3. You know, as we said, in a 3-4-3, your play isn't really meant to go through the middle. It's meant to go through wide areas, right? And with
but he
our
got passed by, I think a lot of people thought defensively. I think bypassed.
I think like the shot that Odegaard attempted twice and the second one got in. I don't think he should be allowed. I don't think he should not be allowed to have so much space to actually like lay the ball and take a precise shot, right? With our front three, I think they, especially Kane and Son, I think today they lacked a bit of hunger. I think that previous season, if this exactly game happened previous season, I think Son is scoring the chance that he got, and I think Kane is scoring at least one chance that he had. And that's just my hypothesis, right? I don't really. For me, it looked like a chances that they would score last season. I just think Son is off it. Son is majorly off it, and I said it also on We Are Tottenham TV. If he continues to perform like this, I want us to sell him in the summer. I don't give a fuck. I know he's been brilliant. Again, see what I say again. I know he's been brilliant servant to the club, but if you don't have the hunger and you don't have the will to play for the club, then you should be moved on, right? Same thing with Lloris and same thing with every other player, right? With Kane, I can't bring myself to say that if he is not on it, we have to sell him because of how good he is. And I think that without him, we are a mid-table team at best. And with Kulusevski, again, I give him a bit of like rest because he was coming back from an injury.
Kulusevski is the future.
Yeah,
Kulusevski is the future. I think you're right with the players. Sonny might be falling into that bracket of the players that have been here a very, very long time and have maybe fallen, out of, how would you put it, passion or, energy or will or what desire. I don't know what it is. I think Sonny loves this football club, but maybe he's just kind of lost that edge that he used to have to play for the squad. And he's no longer, I think, the leader by example that he used to be and all those sort of things. And you're spot on, Michael. I think you're spot on. We probably do have to look on his sound. But any kind of final words here, Michael, for the Harris Army or for, Spurs fans in general? Any kind of final points?
Like 2 or 3 days ago, my Christmas present that my girlfriend ordered me finally arrived from the shop, from our club shop, right? And I got this like small figurine of Conte.
Oh, I had that.
Yeah, and it's really lovely, but I'm afraid he won't be the manager for long, and I'm not sure if it's at the end of this window or if it's in the summer. But I just think it's not working, and it really hurts me to say that, but I think without proper backing and without proper will from both our players and our ownership, this man won't work at our club, unfortunately, because I love him. I love his passion. I love him. I love everything about him. I actually also enjoy his tactic when it's working, right? But with those players, with this ambition from the board, it will not work. Something has to change, right? And for me, there are two solutions. Either our ownership actually steps up and backs this man, allows him to rebuild the squad his way, or they sell the club. Sorry, so there are three solutions. Or they sell the club and someone else does this. Or the third solution is they sack him, they sack this guy, they bring in young coach. If they want to do Project Youth, it will hurt as fuck. But if they want to do Project Youth, bring in young coach, sell Son, sell Kane, sell all players, rebuild this squad, rebuild it, because it cannot go on like that. Kane and Son have been masking all the issues with this club for past 6 to 7 years, in my opinion. Maybe 6 and 7 is an overstatement. 4, let's say. They've been masking all the issues with the squad for past 4 years, with how good they were. As soon as one of them is off it, you can see this team is crumbling. This team is fucking crumbling. And again, what you, David, say, and I totally subscribe to it, those players, they clearly don't back the manager, and they are doing the same thing again. The same thing they did with Poch, with Mourinho, with Nuno. They don't want to play for the guy. They down tools. And again, I also subscribe to what Jerome said. I wouldn't be surprised if we went and smashed City Thursday, just because we have some sort of juge against them. But this will only mask over the issues that we have with this
and
club.
it shouldn't be forgotten. You're absolutely right, Michael.
It's a disgrace, guys. It's a first loss in 9 fucking years at our ground against the lot down the road. 9 years we managed to win every single time, win against them, and under a brilliant coach with 2 brilliant players in our squad, we just didn't show any will to fight and to not like bend over and let them just have their way with us, right? Because that's my biggest gripe with it. I just didn't see any will to change it, right? It's 82nd minute and we're passing it around the back like it was 0-0 or 1-0 to us.
No,
right?
it's so much energy, so much is dead, Michael. You're spot on, my man.
Yeah,
we got plenty more to get to. So
Should
if you're available, if you're available tomorrow, we can. If you're available tomorrow, we can have a good lengthy chat, and want to get you on the show as well for a show, so we can get a good lengthy chat there.
Jacko, we need to do another podcast, mate.
Yeah,
we need to do another podcast because we have so much points to talk about, like literally.
A lot to unpack, Michael. A lot to unpack, brother.
Lots to unpack, boys.
Yeah. But well, thank you, my man.
Sorry, it's not on bare circumstances, Michael. But look, you're absolutely spot on with what you said, man. I'm finding it hard to disagree with any of it.
Heads up. We will eventually, someone in the future bounce back, but I don't think it will be like in any recent future. But we will bounce back. Heads up.
We need a boost soon.
Get Loris out of my club.
I'm starting to my confidence about bouncing back eventually is starting to wane, my man. But big up, Michael, and we'll speak to you again tomorrow.
Catch you soon, brother.
Bye. Great call in there from Michael, actually. Really good, synopsis of the game and the performance and that today and what's going on at the club. Really enjoyed that. But look, let's keep this moving. We've got 4 more guests left to go to. The next guest is KPV. KPV, how are you, my man?
Pissed off, man. Like 9 years, as Michael said, since they've done a double over us, and now they've brought that thing that they've been saying every time, St. Tottenham's Day, the song, the Harry Kane song, after the final season at the old White Hart Lane, and now they've brought it back. Seriously, like, what the fuck is wrong? Get Loris out. Get rid of Sessegnon. I'm sorry, but he needs to go. Like, get those jabronis out. It's time to leave. Move on. Like, the clock is ticking. And it's time to move on, kiddos. And, like, we've not lost at home to them for a long time, and we always beat them, but, like, to see them do that, celebrate like they've won the league,
It's a rough fucking year, KPV. I mean, what was it? We haven't finished, or they haven't finished above us in 6 years or something. What is it, Dave? They haven't finished above us in 6 years. We haven't lost to them at home in 9 years. I don't know, KPV. It's just shit that just shouldn't be happening, my man, today. It really is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to see this, my man. It's sorry to see you this way as well. People that you're the man who cheers us up usually.
Yeah, but this, like, them lot winning at our ground. Like, I saw a video, like, before the North London derby saying that DT said it's about time we won at their plate. Give me a break, for you. Give me a break, kid. Like, we haven't won at their place since 2018. That was the Carabao Cup. People said in October, like, we're talking about Premier League here, kiddos, not Carabao Cup. Yeah, that was the only time that Villa boss lost to Tottenham. That was the Carabao Cup. But, like, we've got the Premier League champions who just lost the Manchester derby. And, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we do beat them because we have their number and they just lost to Southampton. Like, we do have their number, as I said, but Son, if Son continues like this, then as Michael said, we're gonna have to sell him because, like, he wants. I saw a couple of weeks ago that he's made his mind up. He wants to join Liverpool, a team who are doing shit as well. They just got beaten by Brighton. Like now, like.
KPV, what would you say with Sonny right now? Would you get the opportunity to maybe sell him this summer? Would you sell him? Is it maybe has he reached his expiration date? Has he just lost his sort of, I don't know, edge with Spurs? Does he just need, what do you make of Sonny? Because how much more patient can we really be for him to come good this season?
I think it's probably time we sell him. Like, yeah, he loves the club. Like, he always scores in the big games. Like, whether it be United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, or Leicester, anyone. Like, it's just time to go, man. Like, the partnership between Kane and Son has been brilliant for years. No one's combined for more goal contributions than those two, and the record won't be broken when they leave. But yeah, I think it's time to sell him. But let's see how Thursday goes. Like, if he doesn't score, then it might have to be time to sell him. But yeah,
What do you think it's happened, KPV? Is he just basically just lost it, or is maybe Conte, because this was brought up earlier, maybe Conte's telling him to do something different than he didn't do before last season? I don't know. Like, where's it all gone wrong for Sonny? And he even missed today, an opportunity to score as well. That could have been a real, momentum changer for us. And I don't know. It's just hard to keep up the patience, if you will.
Yeah, I think it's just the form. Like, he scored against Palace last week, I believe, and yeah, he scored against Palace 2 weeks ago. We thought, oh, he's back in the goals. Is he going to score against the
I
field?
think, but then when we watched that one back, KPV, I'm sorry, but like Mark Gahey made an absolute meal of that. Like it was horrible defending from Mark Gahey, and then Sonny even got kind of lucky on the finish, if I even recall, for the most part. Sorry to interrupt you, though. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, Daniel, how you doing, man? Like, yeah, I think it's
Lloris, though, what do you make of Lloris, KPV? I mean, another North London derby. He's let us down, man. And I know you probably, he's given us a lot of service. I've heard you say that in the past, but I mean, 2 North London derbies, he's let us down now.
Yeah, time to go, man. Like, last season we lost 3-1 in the Emirates, and that wasn't a Laurie Towler. That wasn't. Last season we won 3-0 at home. He kept a clean sheet, and yeah, they lost to us. But yeah, more howlers. He's been costing us points. Dyer has been costing. That it was his birthday. It's his birthday, and we lose on his birthday. Like, shit, centre back. Get rid of. Bring someone else in. Like, yeah, just bring a new centre back in, man. Just bring somebody else in. I don't know who's available. Like,
Are you sticking with Conte, KPV, or do you think you need to see change? Do you want to see a manager change? Do you want to, see Conte back and stick with him? What do you want, KPV? You want to maybe a new manager change, or do you want to maybe stick with Conte?
I'll stick with Conte. Like, some people want him out. They wanted Mourinho out. They wanted Nuno out. Like, yeah, I'm surprised we haven't heard we want Levy out since the Man United game when we lost 3-0 at home. And I'm surprised that wasn't sung today. Like, I'm surprised nobody sang it. As Brian said, he wouldn't sing it. Like, fair point. But I would have sang it. Like, but I'm surprised nobody sang it today.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah, I'm surprised nobody sang it. Maybe like Levy wasn't there anyway, because I heard there was some traffic going on and he didn't attend. So good, the bold.
Wouldn't surprise me. He knew what was coming. That's why.
Yeah, he knew what was coming at this way, and yeah, like people want him out. I want him out, and just get Enoch and Levy out, because stop awarding us failure. 22 years, we haven't won anything, and this is the problem. Like, we're not winning anything under these jabronis, and just get them out. Get them out.
I think they brought the club as far as they can, KPV.
Yeah, like, they took as far as we can. And, like, people who want MP back, known as Poch, like, you're all jabronis. Like, the same thing will happen again under him. He'll just get sacked in 2 years. And, like, I know he wants to come back because he said he wants to win the league before he dies. Like, are you mad, kid? You want to win the league before you die? I wouldn't go that far, but like, I don't want him back while Levy's here, because Brian Daigle doesn't, Stavern, no one does, and like, it's probably going to be Poch next if this continues the way we're playing. It's going to be like this, and he's going to come back. Like, no.
Spot on. Spot on, KPV. It's just a bad day all around, my man. It's a bad day all around. But look, what I'd say to you, KPV, is go and play a bit of FIFA and fucking forget about it, man.
Yeah, forget. Like, yeah, so I'm going to play FIFA anyway, because, yeah, I'm just going to play that. And
take your mind off things, KPV. We need you in high spirits for Man City, my friend. We need you in high spirits for them, brother.
But Kula, I thought, was probably our better player today. Some great chances. I thought he was going to score another screamer, like did against Norwich last season.
Yeah, he missed a few of them. He was close, but he missed them as well.
I think he was our best player today. I think everyone will probably agree he was our best player. The rest was just shocking. I think he was probably our best player. Like, yeah, I think we haven't signed him permanently yet. That still is probably going to be the signing of January. Like, yeah, so get it done, Levy. And I heard Pedro Porro has agreed to join us, because I saw it on Google. But
I think he's agreed personal terms, KPV. They're just waiting on Spurs to freaking pay it. You know, that's all it is. You know, my man. We need you in there. You know, to push the paper. We need you in there to get it signed, my man. We need you in there to put the pressure on him.
Yeah, but I'll be watching I don't know if I'll be watching the game on Thursday after this performance. Like,
hard watch.
Hard watch. But I do want a win, because this is now 4 times we lost at home, and twice to these idiots since 2013-14, and they both came in 1-0 losses. Giroud at the Emirates, and then Rosicky at the White Hart Lane. Like, this is the first time they won at our new ground, but one. Their record at our new ground is poor. This is only 1 win, but next season we'll beat them, because we better have new players. So anyway, I'm off. And Levy out.
Big up, KPV. See you soon.
Good man, KPV. Catch you soon, brother.
KPV. Really sad seeing KPV down like that. You know, usually he's my energy every day. You know, I see him everywhere. He's usually
it's bad when that's the case. You do know it's bad when that's the case, when KPV is down. Absolutely right, Davo. Absolutely right.
But look, let's keep this moving. The next guest we've got in the background is Phil. Phil, how are you keeping, brother?
Phil.
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. Yeah, little deflated. about the performance, obviously, but yeah, I don't know. Let's start on Conte.
Sure.
I think there's a lot of blame coming his way at the minute because his team selection, he's very, very stubborn with not changing it before the game starts, during the game. You know, he's got to change something up in games. He has to. The players that we have in our squad cannot play his system. They can't. They're not good enough to play his system, especially his wing backs. I mean, Sessegnon shouldn't have played today. He does not deserve to play today. Perisic has got 9 assists and he's put him on the bench. We need to be on the front foot straight from the off. We can't be playing defensive players, you know, in
That's
that
one I
in
think
that
he
game.
got wrong. Phil.
We need
I
to
think he got that one wrong.
we need to take the game to them straight away. And another thing with Conte is that you know me, guys. I've always been Conte in. I've always said it all the way through. But I mean, these decisions are just.
No,
swaying.
I'm with you, Phil. I'm very much Conte in myself, and I made those same criticisms today. You know, after the game, where I was just like, with Sessegnon, I sort of tried to see it through his eyes, but I still criticized it. Where I'm just like, listen, like Sessegnon, he's lost it defensively. I know he might have thought, listen, Sessegnon might be better defensively than Perisic. I'm going to go for that because Saka's so dangerous. I think he probably should have just realized Sessegnon's just been dross defensively and going forward this season. And he, like you said, this is a North London derby. We're playing at home. You want to be more progressive. You want to be, playing with your front foot. And Perisic would have been that player. Also, Perisic, when we're in a bind, when we're in a tough moment, he usually bails us out. It feels like Perisic with a good ball in or some sort of set piece or something. You're spot on, Phil.
Yeah, I mean, even with like the midfield today, they absolutely dominated in the centre midfield, and that's because they had an extra man in midfield. I mean, let's be honest, their midfield at the minute is probably the best midfield on form. I'm not saying individually. I'm saying on form at the minute. They're playing the best football. So why we put Højbjerg and Sarr on their own with their three?
Yeah.
There's no chance. We're always going to be getting overrun there. So
no matter how well you think Højbjerg tries to play or Sarr plays, it's still going to be a losing battle.
Partey had a field day. He had the ball and there was nowhere near him within 5 yards. Yeah. He just ran the show. Absolutely, and it was exactly the same in the game at Arsenal as well. He ran the show. We played 2 in midfield, and they dominated. They dominated the game. So the blame has to go with Conte for that as well. Also, with us not starting straight away in games, I mean, but it's going too far now. I mean, in a North London derby, right, the biggest game in the season for those players, and they don't come out straight away in the first half. It's unexcusable. Like, it's unexcusable. And I've had enough of it, really. And I'm starting to worry that the players have just gone against Conte now, and they're not playing for him, and they've give up. That's what it seems to me.
Yeah.
Similar to under Nuno, wasn't it? Similar to when Jose was going near the end, getting sacked.
Very
no
similar.
creativity. Everyone just kind of letting people run at them, run by them. A lot of free shots coming in. It's very, very similar to what I've seen before. But this is the sad point about it, though, Phil. Being here the last 3. How many times have we been here over the last 3-4 years? What, 3 times already?
Yeah.
Why do we have to keep watching it be good? We do all right, and then all of a sudden it drops off a cliff like this. Why do we have to keep going through this shit? And the thing is, all it's doing is ruining it further, because you're going to get in the next guy, and then the next guy's going to bring in his signings, and you've got 5 different regimes all of a sudden in the squad. And it's not going to get any better.
I said before, I mean, I was leaving out straight away after the Champions League final, after they didn't take us to that next level with Poch. that's when we should have gone to a next level. We should have been challenging for honours, challenging for trophies from then. But that's from the top. The blame is Levy and Enoch for that. You know, you back a manager when they're on the up, when we're getting into finals. Do you know what I mean? Being that close to winning the Champions League, you know, winning the league, you have to keep up buying these world-class players in the squad to compete. We're being left behind by these bigger clubs because they're going to a next level because they're being backed by their owners. These managers.
It's showing that Conte's taken this squad as far as he can, because he did take this squad and outperformed, with them to get into top four. But clearly, like they have with previous managers, Phil, they kind of reach some sort of expiration. They start to turn on him. They don't maybe commit fully to what he's doing, tactically or anything. Like you said, he got things wrong today, but I don't know. They just sort of reach an expiration date, and also their quality or lack of quality, should I say, comes through.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not. To be fair, I'm not surprised in the league position. To be fair, with the players that we've got in the squad. I mean, some fans are like, we want to be top four. I think we'll get top four. I'm not like, I'm not with this squad of players that we have. We'll be looking to get sixth.
It's also two 2-0 defeats at home as well, Phil, which is also concerning. Like, we don't even have that sort of fortress kind of mentality anymore, because that was also there previously under Conte. We did have a lot of games that we had won in a row, I believe. I think we even broke some record or something for games in a row, one at home or something like that, or undefeated, whatever, under him. And now that's 2-0 defeats at home.
I mean, let's hope we get some players in January, because by God, we need it. Like, we need it. I mean,
Hugo Lloris, have you touched on him today? I'm not sure yet.
Lloris, all good things come to an end, and this is the end now. Sonny's. I'm still backing Sonny. I'm still backing him. I still think he's a world-class player, and I will defend him. I will defend him.
He's done us good service.
I think he'll come good, but I just think it's the system. He's not suited to this system, I don't think. I think if he played in like a 4-3-3 with a creative midfielder in there, I think we're just.
But Phil, it suited him last year. He went on to win a Golden Boot.
Yeah, I know, but we scraped into fourth, didn't we? Let's be honest, we scraped into that. Arsenal did drop off, but we scraped into
what
it.
we're saying is Sonny played terrific in that. Yeah, Sonny, but did he tweak maybe Sonny's, Sonny doing something differently? Did he tweak it or something like that? Maybe did he break, that relationship that was with Kane and Son, where Sonny ran in behind, but Kane was able to find him making those run in the channels. Did he?
I just think the team's gone a bit stale. Do you know what I mean? Because I just think I think they're fed up of not having a manager being backed all the time. That's got to affect the players as well, especially players like Son and Kane. They want to win trophies. Do you know what I mean? And if a manager's not getting backed and not having quality players in the squad, then it's going to affect the players as well. Also, but I mean, with Poch. The football we were playing there, it was free flowing. It was exciting football with a player. I love that formation with a creative midfielder in there, like an Eriksen. I love that type of. I would like this type of football if we had better wing backs, but we don't.
Yeah,
but we don't, and that is costing us massively because we don't have the players to fit his system. And Levy is at fault for that because he's not giving him the players that he wants.
Yep.
Simple.
Spot on.
And is that the only answer to get out of this? Is keep Conte giving the players he wants this January, and we can get out of this mess?
Yeah, well, he's paid the big bucks to get out of this mess, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? He has to find a way. I mean, if he doesn't get backed in January, he's leaving. He's leaving, mate. He's leaving. Like, I don't think he'll stick this out. not a chance. Not with the players that we have in the squad. So
tough one to stick out. That's for
yeah.
sure.
If he does leave, then I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know where we're going.
It's difficult, but I mean, if we get Poch in, it's exactly the same players as what he had before, apart from Ericsson and players like that. But yeah, I don't know, man.
It's tough, Phil.
We're in shit street at the minute, aren't we, lads?
We're up a creek without a paddle, my man. You know.
But hey, we'll get a result against City, and then it's all okay again, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't really see a result coming against Man City on Thursday.
No, I can't see it. I can't see it at all. I think we'll get dominated against them. But
yeah, I only see things getting a lot worse before they get any better, my man. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, Phil, anything else you want to say before we let you go, brother?
No, just keep your heads up, lads. It will change eventually. We will have new owners eventually. We'll have a manager. It's not all Conte's fault, but we will get back to the Tottenham where we were playing really good football, and owners that will back the manager and get world-class players in this club, along with Kane and Son. So it will change eventually. Just stick with it, lads. That's all I'd say, especially to the fan base as well. So
look, me and Jack will always stick through it, good or bad times. At the end of the day,
I'm me, mate. I'm the same.
We all love this football club, you know what I mean? And look, for me, this is therapy. You know, I'm just so grateful to have all you guys to be able to go through these days like this with, Phil. So look, make yourself up, man.
We'll all pull through it, lads. Eh?
Let's pull through it, Phil. Come on, man.
Come on, lads.
Catch you, brother.
As always, come on, you Spurs, and in Conte we trust if he's backed.
Will we get to speak to you on tomorrow's fan show?
Yeah, I'll jump on, mate. I've got 4 days off now. I'd finished my last night shift last night, so I'll pop on tomorrow, lads.
That's good timing to have 4 days off now. I couldn't have come in that. Good man.
No shit.
Catch you soon, brother.
Big old Phil. Really
all right, lads. Take care, yeah.
Catch you.
See you, my man. Bye-bye. Another really good call in there from Phil. Brilliant call, actually. Very hard to disagree with him again. But look, let's keep this moving. We got 3 guests left. And the next one is Wes. Wes, how you keeping, brother?
Wes.
This right here was horrible. I'm out here packing. My room is a mess. I'm packing. I'm about to go back to college. And crap I saw this middle lunchtime was ridiculous, you know. And it's pretty much the sad thing is, the reason I say that is because it's something I pretty much expected. We did exactly what I thought we were going to do. Somebody was going to make one mistake that would kill the rest of the team off, and then somehow just the rest of the team forget how to play football all of a sudden, you know, and everybody gets scared and timid. You know, we had a couple players trying. Kulusevski, I think Romero, a lot of people say he played well or played decently. To me, he didn't play good at all because most of his tackles were off to me. But that's just my opinion. But I think he did show heart, though. I'm not saying he didn't show no heart. He showed heart, but some of his tackles could have easily been straight or red, you know. And hopefully he doesn't get into that mindset, or, you know, at least, you know, consistency. Yeah, where he keeps doing those kind of tackles. So I know he's trying to anticipate it, but most of the time, especially when you're on the back foot, a lot of these players are going to do anything to get a foul. So he needs to be very careful of that for future games, because that could have messed us up in the beginning just right there. That could have been the first mistake. It's him getting the red card and boom, we're down to 10 men and there's still a whole game left. My thoughts on the game, man, I mean, Lloris, I'm done with him. It's clear as day, we need a new goalkeeper. That's it for him. I don't know how you blocked the shot and then you pushed it, and
I don't even know if it was headed in, West. I don't even know if it was headed. You know,
Saka hit it. Saka hit it with pretty much a prayer. I think he was trying to really cross it, but he was trying to do like a force cross and hope it go in, and it worked. He literally hit it. It hit off his chest or his gloves, and he either pushed it into the goal somehow. I don't know, but all I know is no goalkeeper on their game does that. You know, like. No other goalkeeper I know in the Premier League right now would do some stupid stuff like that and it ends up in the goal. Only at Tottenham Hotspur do we have our own goal like that happen, you know? Yeah. So it's inexcusable. He knew it. Everybody saw his reaction. He knew he effed up. He knew that probably, and he knew that what was going to happen after that. He knew the whole team was going to pretty much go retract. And I don't understand why we do that. It's something up with our mindset. I think we need counselors at the dang club or something. They need counselors, something, mentors, something. They need somebody who can bring up mental stuff to bring them up or something, because there's something mental going on at the club with the team. And it's getting on my nerves, because there ain't no reason you should be on the back foot like that the whole game. And then I guess in the second half, you give it you do a good 25 minutes. Because to me, we didn't play good in the second half either. We played better, but that was just better.
Does that mentality issue come through to you with what was just said earlier, with how they just don't start games quick either? Another game where even a North London derby, they don't really come out the gates or anything. And that also speaks to a mentality issue, right?
Yeah, it's all mentality to me. I think this whole season has all been about mentality, because, to be honest with you, we didn't even play that bad at the beginning of the game. To be honest with you, yeah, Arsenal on our side for a good point of it, but to be honest with you, we was holding it up pretty well. Wasn't nothing crazy that they did just yet. I think Saka, he probably had the more obvious chances of getting some, maybe Odegaard a couple times. And the reason why Odegaard kept on being open in the middle, because they got 3 men in midfield, 3 men against our 2. And then we're expecting 2 midfielders to somehow cover 3 players. I'm sorry, that's not going to work. And it hasn't worked, because every single other Premier League team is playing with 3 men in the midfield, and they know it.
Even when we've played with 3 in midfield, we've been shit.
It's been horrible. Yeah. And I think that goes back to the back 3 and the defense being bad with that. When we tried the 3, what is it? What kind of formation is that? 3-4-2?
3-5-2.
Yeah, 3-5-2. Yeah, when we tried a 3-5-2, and then and I still feel like that could work if we had better 3 center backs, and we actually had somebody who's just a maestro dribbler as our cam. But and you would think that'd be cool. So I feel like if we did get the players and this team actually functioned like a regular club, I feel like that formation would work. I think that would be the formation he would probably choose on a given day, to be honest with you, because I think signing Kane up top, I think makes more sense. Or you put Richarlison, that just is a little bit more fluid. He can do more stuff with that formation, but it's not going to happen because he's not going to get backed, because we're struggling paying for Pearl. And
this is the thing, though, Wes. Just on the midfield and that, right? I know people aren't a fan of the back 5 or the whatever you want to call it, back 3, back 5. I know it's not really much of a difference.
Yeah, from his transitions to a 5, pretty much. I
know people are fed up with it, right?
I know I am.
I don't like it either. I've never liked the back 5. Jack knows this. I say it to Jack. I said it to him at the time. I'm not really a fan of back 5. But we forget why Conte plays a back. We forget why we hired Conte in the first place. They hired Conte because they knew he played a back 5, because they knew that defense was not good enough in a back 4. We've seen that under Nuno. We've seen it under Jose. They knew that it wasn't good enough in a back 4. So they go and get a manager that plays a back 5. Now, we got to remember, at the time, many people were calling for a manager to play a back 5. They said it was the new way football was going. Tuchel, Potter, this, that, and the other. Most people were calling for it. The thing is, we can't go to a back 4 until they make massive improvements right across that back line, in the wing, in the full-back areas, and in the centre-back areas. Because even Lenglet and Romero's not going to work. Dyer and Romero's not going to work. Sanchez and Dyer, we've seen, doesn't work. Davies and others don't work. So I know we don't like it, but we're very quick to forget why we play it. You think they didn't go out purposely and source a manager that plays a back 5 to come in here, knowing that how bad that back 4 was? Because again, they didn't want to spend the right money to fix it.
Yeah. And still, at this point, I do want to see a back 4, because I feel like we got players that more likely, like Royale, he's more of a right back, and I feel like maybe we'll see a different Royale if he played in his natural position. Because let's be honest, he's been playing him out of position. He's not a forward attacking right wing back. He's just not. He's a right back. I think the same thing with Cess. I think Cess is just a left back. I don't feel like he's a left wing back at all.
That's what he should be.
Yeah. And then I feel like we should try 4, because Longley and Romero will probably be the better duo out of anything else we have, and just have everybody else be bench pieces for whatever game they come up with. Because we just need my thing with Conte is we need him to do something. He can't just continue to play a formation that does not work. And to me, I think this formation just doesn't work with the current slate of players. I feel like even if we did say he got bagged and he got, 2 players in this January, say he gets probably 2 more in summer, is that going to really change the whole squad? No, because we still got to sell all those players. We still got to sell those players. We still got to meet the rules and regulations of just having a roster. Still got to have a certain amount of English players. We're only going to have a certain amount of international players. It's not going to be easy just to turn over this whole roster like that. And the only way is you got to deal with what you have. And, at this point in time, he's on a hot seat. He's losing games for no reason when we could be at least playing better than that. It'd be different if he lost these games and it was close and it was a decent, actual try at it. But to be honest with you, we're just getting, we're laughing stocks. Like I said on previous, I think last week, we're laughing stocks pretty much. There was no way we had a chance against this team with the way he has it set up. We don't have the players that have the technicality or the IQ even to play in that formation. You need 3 center backs that can pass, do a little bit of ball control, a very good tight ball control. So when we get on the break, when the other team's on a break and they got the ball and with some we got the ball. And then you got to have players who can have really good IQ at that on the 3 on the back line. And they also have to have good midfielders who are, again, technical, can dribble at defenses. Have really, except for Bentancur, I say he's probably grown into that. But the rest of our center mids are mostly box-to-box midfielders. You could probably say Basuma, but Basuma really, I think, is more of a cam, so he's never really able to go at a defense, and I never really see him do it anyway, even when he was playing for Brighton.
Sonny, do you think Sonny, would you sell him this summer if given the chance?
That's a hard one for me. I feel like this.
I don't want to put you through too much despair tonight.
I don't. That's my favorite player on this club. I don't know what the heck I'll be like. I know we got Kane and whatever, but in Kulu. But to me, that's my favorite player on this club. Period. And I feel like this formation, the way the tactics that he has him specifically doing, I feel like it's just not.
Don't they changed it? Yeah, because last season he was scoring all freely and running behind.
He was scoring in this formation, the same formation he was scoring. So I don't understand. So something happened. He done told him to do something differently, and it's not working. It's not working. And I feel like in having Kane even be just a straight up classic striker, stay up top, that's not working either. Kane is a center forward. He's not a striker technically. I understand he's a striker as he's up top, but he's really a center forward. And what I mean by that, he kind of is a false 9 where he facilitates and scores while also having a hold up play. He's a center forward. He's not really a striker. He's not a classic striker, at least, because he has the technicality to pass and everything. So when you have a center forward, that's pretty much one of the best center forwards to me in the world. You put him in a position where he's like a false 9. You have him drop deep sometimes, pass it off to Son, pass it off to Kulu. If Kulu can go in behind or just pass Kulu where he does a hold-up play. That's how I feel like we see when we do play like that, it looks very good and it's very fluid, and the players already know what to do, kind of, because Son already knows to make the run even before Kane even makes the turn to pass it to him. And you see he tried that in the second half when we were kind of getting a little bit of a feel to the game, but it wasn't working because Son was really in positions where he usually are on the pitch where Kane will usually do that pass to. So, that I just feel like that the formation doesn't work with our slate of players. And I understand he's trying to play a certain system. He wants certain players in, but if you're not getting those certain players in, you got a board that's acting like how they're acting, where they don't even want to pay 45 mil for one player. You got to pretty much do what you can to win games now and worry about it in the summer. And if you even stay for the summer, I don't want to see why there's no guarantee he's even going to stay. He's not signing. He's not putting his name on the dotted line. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him because the board is just not going to back him, and they're not going to let him play and take control like he needs to take control. Like Ten Hag at Manchester United, he's taking complete control. They benched Ronaldo and said, "Get the hell out of here." And you look at what that man did. He's pretty much like that Christian Bale for them, like he is, like Christian Bale is for Tottenham. That was their guy, and they kicked him to the curb. Cristiano Ronaldo, pretty much the top 4, top 5 best player of all time that we've seen in our lifetime, and they just kicked him to the curb. That's a man. That's taking control. That's a manager taking control of a club to hopefully bring him to a better place.
Yeah,
Levy's not letting him do that. He's clearly not letting him do that.
No, there's no sign that he's letting him do that.
This team would be a whole lot different. I feel like he wouldn't even play some of the players we got now if he had real control over the club.
He doesn't let any manager do it though, Wes. It's even going back to the Harry Redknapp days. He wanted what was it? He wanted
He wanted a couple players.
Tevez. I think he wanted Tevez and some other guy, and he
Yeah.
got fucking Ryan Nelson and a Croc. Was it Croc Louis Zaha? I mean,
Yeah, barely lasted at this club. I think they only lasted a season or two.
yeah, it's just madness, man. He doesn't let any manager do it, and this is
No.
the problem. You know, and in order for this club to progress, you have to let a manager do it. You have to bring in the players he wants you to bring in. He's the one in football. He's the one that knows these guys' character. You know, he's the one that speaks to people about these players before they bring them in. You know, and you've got to let him do it his way. There's no point in keeping in managers here and fighting against them because it doesn't achieve nothing. The only thing it achieves is pissing the fans off.
Yeah.
But Wes, where can people find you, my man?
On YouTube, I just dropped a video on my YouTube channel, West the King, and of course on here on Irish Hotspur. The last I'm gonna say is the owners, if they're not gonna, this is the last thing. If Levy is gonna, if they're gonna keep this club or whatever, and they're not gonna go over the hill to like go over that hump to put us forward to have us actually compete against these top 4 clubs, sell. You done built the stadium. You done brought the brand up to where the brand is now worth over $1 billion, like $2 billion now. Sell the club if you can't take us any further. Don't stagnate us. Don't piss us off even further and make yourself look bad. I don't even understand why they want to own a club that's seen as mediocre and seen as a laughing stock in English football. I don't even see why. What you're thinking of having, I'm the ownership of a club that's mediocre, hasn't won a trophy in 15 years. I don't know. That's the greatest thing you want to say at like at a winery or something like that, whatever these rich people go to. Like, I don't know. I don't like, if I was an owner of a club, especially a sporting team, I think I want anything that's attached with my name on it. I think I want that to be as fine as wine.
Yeah.
I don't see the point of owning a club and the club is mediocre and hasn't won shit. What you gonna say at the dinner table? What you're telling people? My club is worth over $1 billion, but they haven't won a trophy in like 20 years. That's a thing to say. That's great to say as a billionaire. That's ridiculous. But that's my last 2 thoughts on it. Like f these guys, f Enoch and all them. I'm not trying to cuss.
Absolutely spot on when it comes to that, Wes. But look, Wes, thank you for your time this evening. It's good to see you back to full health, and good to see you getting back into college, brother.
Yeah.
Best of luck with the pack, and hopefully this doesn't demotivate you too much, my man. Best of luck.
I'm not even gonna think about it. I'm just gonna drive these 6 hours to North Carolina and
put your head down.
Yeah.
We'll just get through it.
See you, Wes.
my man.
Big up, guys. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Catch you soon, Wes. Big up.
Brilliant, Colin. I love listening to Wes.
He bossed that one.
I don't agree with everything he says all the time, but he does make some really good points. Big up, Wes. Ian Cook with a comment here. He says, I can't take another rebuild. I can't either, my man. I'm fed up with them. Big up, Paul Wiley. Good to see you. He says, same with Arteta. He kicked out Aubameyang and Ozil. Spot on. Cynical Dad. Good to see you. He says, Levy's driving profit even from the Keane and Berghoff days. Yeah, absolutely spot on. You got to let a manager implement himself. You just have to. It's the way it is now. You got to back a manager as well. Absolutely spot on. But look, we are down to the last 2 guests, and then we are off for the evening. I am going to fucking absolutely eat the arse off a cow because I'm starving, and just try and forget about this game. But look, let's get on the next guest, Dermatron. Dermo, how are you, brother?
Broken. That's it, exactly. Broken. The North London derby is something. It's not just another game. It's something. Them players did not give a fucking care what it means to them. They went out there, as you said, Dave, high-fiving each other, fucking going along. This is great. Look, we're doing it. Look, the camera's coming. Look, smart, be up for it. And what do we get? Another pathetic performance. Conte in the touchline, scratching his head. I think I must do something now. I'll go and point a few fingers and start shouting. It looks good for the cameras. But I waited 70 minutes to make a substitution. We went to the Wolves game last year, Dave. How long did it take him to take Segi off in that game? 20 minutes? 19 minutes? I know it was forced, but I know it was forced, but he had to make a change. If that was you, me, or Jack, or Wes, we would have made the change within 10 minutes. 15 minutes. This isn't working. Get another man in midfield. It was an embarrassment. I'm embarrassed to be a Spurs fan. I'm embarrassed to be a supporter. 41 years. I'm done. If it wasn't actually for my channel, Dave, I walked away. I would have walked away from Spurs this season.
I feel like doing it myself at this. I think that it's a fucking write-off at the minute, Dermo.
It is, and I mean, look, Dave, I wrote this down, and
I just want to ask you a question before you go into that quickly, Dermo. Look, we can sit here and have all the debates about Conte, about the players, about tactics, 3 in midfield, 4 at the back, whatever we want. But in reality, are we not sick of sitting here asking the same questions 3 years down the line? This is what we've been doing for 3 years. Formation, this, lack of player here, lack of player there. We're not sick of having these combos.
I'm absolutely sick to the back teeth of having these conversations. I want to come on, Dave, and say, what a great performance. Jesus, didn't Seguin play well? Didn't Dyer do well? Do you know what I mean? Same players who let Mourinho down, who let Poch down at the very start, who let Poch down, who let Jose down, Nuno down. Though Nuno was it was an awful appointment. They let him down. They didn't let Ryan Mason down, and he's a fucking idiot. I am sick to death of these players letting this club down. Bill Nick is spinning in his grave tonight. Jimmy Greaves is looking. I'm glad Harry Kane didn't break his record today, because I would not want him to have that on that game.
Yeah.
I really am strongly, and I am so angry and so upset. I am absolutely fuming. How dare they? Who the hell do they think they are? They're not. They pull on the shirt. They should be pride in that shirt. Today was a North London derby. It wasn't like West. It wasn't like playing Fulham or playing Leicester or Man United. It was a North London feckin' derby. At least have a bit of gumption.
Or Dermotron. Jacko, you have guests over, right? I forgot.
Mrs. does. They're not my guests.
Oh, well, if you need to go, man, you're more than welcome to leave. I completely forgot about it. My phone's been dead the last hour. I can finish this off if you need to.
To be honest, Dave, they're the missus's guests, so I think
fair enough. No, fair enough. I heard the noise and I was just thinking. I was like, shit, yeah, Jack has guest over. My bad, but sorry, Dharma, go on.
No, great. I write this down. I said today we saw the players' true colours. No passion. Did not give a flying feck about what it means to play in the North London derby. To us fans, it means everything. To them, it means fuck all, nothing. If you don't see something not right, you change it. Today we showed there was no balls, no fight, no nothing. Us fans need to unite today. The badge is crying. Players, managers need to look in the mirror at themselves today. I'm broken as a Spurs fan. Today I am done. To see them fans singing and dancing down the other end, Dave, that really pissed me off.
Yeah.
That really did piss me off. It's an insult. I hope the players tonight see that and they feel like shit. And I bet you they won't. They're sitting back and I bet they don't even care. Today they look like rabbits in headlights. That's what they remind me of. And you can blame Levy, you can blame the owners, you can blame that side all you want. But it's Conte who picks the team. It's Conte who picks the tactics. It's Conte who tells them what to do. I'm very fast becoming Conte out. I am fast losing faith with him. I don't care. He's paid 50 million a year to put a performance that we do a good performance. Today was an embarrassment. Managers would be sacked for today. Something big's going to happen, Dave. You said it earlier, and something big is going to happen. Either Conte walks, Conte sacked, or something happens. Because we see, I don't condone what that fan did at the end of the game, by the way. I thought that was disgusting, and it's ruining our reputation. But you can understand. That fan, though it's wrong, you heard the fans. Once the goal went in, the fans dropped. And all the intensity went. Everything just went toxic. And then it goes on to the players. But the players should be big enough to actually stand up. Right, let's bring the crowd back up. Let's get stuck in.
Yeah,
I'm sick of it, Dave. I'm absolutely sick to the back fucking teeth of it all.
Yeah, look, I think many fans are like you, Dermot. Calavius is saying, look, I think I might have to take a break from all Tottenham-related activities. I mean, many fans are feeling like that tonight. You've got poor Leon here, M96 guys, went to the game today, first North London derby. He goes, not the result I wanted for my first North London derby, but we moved. Fair play to you lads for still providing content. # leave you out. # Enoch out. Look, at the end of the day, my man, what we are is, yes, we give our own opinions on things from time to time, but basically we're a fan channel for the fans to be able to come on and air their opinions. You see us, we constantly recruit from our own subscriber base and get people on to have their says, and that's all we are at the end of the day. So I don't really need a thank you or a fair play. I really appreciate the sentiment, but look, this is what this is here for, man. We're here for the fans. Let them speak what they want to speak about. Big up, Leon. I'm sad it didn't go your way today, my man. I was really rooting for you. Bobby Kane, these two young lads flew all the way up from Canada. They were at the stadium. Paddy Harnett, another good Irish man, he was over there today. So many flew in for this, and, for why? For why? Your first one, you probably won't go to another one again after that experience, to be honest with you, my man. But big up, Leon. Like you said, we move. I know
you deserve better, Leon. Deserve a lot better than that, Leon. But I don't know how they can. I don't know if they can make it up to you ever, Leon. But I just, geez, my man, you deserve a lot better than that, my man. But keep your head up this season, and appreciate the support. But believe me, my man, you deserve a lot better than that. And the reason we're even doing this whole fan show tonight is just because people want to get stuff off their chest. Even, I mean, Dave and I have been speaking about it for over 12 hours at this stage, but people need to get shit off their chest right now. And so we understand that, Leon. Big up, my man. Big up, Leon, my man. Really appreciate the support. But do you know what, Dermo? Look, I've actually said this earlier on. I'm not going to sit here and have arguments with people over Conte, over the players, over the owners. In reality, absolutely everybody's got to take account, And in truth, you see all these varying different opinions from all sides. Just truth in them all. Yes. Just truth in absolutely every single bit of it. But nobody, it's a bit of absolutely everything. I'm just fed up with it at this stage. I'm getting like you. I'm getting pissed off with it all.
Do you know what, Dave? I can remember the bad 90s. I can remember the Christian Gross times and the Jerry Francis times. We may have been shit, but I tell you one thing, them players would turn up for a North London derby. Okay, 9 out of 10 we would have probably lost, but at least they put a shift in. Today was an example of player power. It wasn't managers should have control of a club. The players have control of Tottenham. Something's got to shift. And if it's going to take for Conte to walk or somebody, whoever buys this, by the way, we're still going to have the same fucking problems. Because the players of like Dyer and Sanchez and all them are too well rooted in that club now. They think they call the shots. It's something has to give. I feel sorry for the people that actually went there today. I feel sorry for the people that came from Canada. I feel sorry for like the super chat from the gentleman that went. Do you know what I mean? It's embarrassing, and I don't know why. We won't win on Thursday either. We'll lose against Man City too. I can't see us getting the result out of that. And then if we lose then against Fulham, where does Conte go? Does he walk? Does Levy sack him? He's going to bring in Poch. What's that going to do? Nothing. It's just going to appease some of the fan base. I'm, to be honest with you, Dave, I don't know what to think and what to do tonight. I wake up in the morning and think, right, we'll go again. But tonight I am extremely angry and upset, and I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for Jack. I feel sorry for Sean the other. I feel sorry for all the fans. Watched it on TV, watched it, had you on in the background, who went there. They owe us an apology, and they owe us a public apology.
Do you know what, Dermot? I don't even want to hear from these fuckers. I've seen it time and time again with the last under Jose Mourinho, if you remember, they got smacked up in the North London derby.
That's right.
Oh, we're going to play for you guys, blah, 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 blah. What happened? Went out and got smacked up by Zagreb on a Thursday night. I don't actually want to hear from them. No. I don't. I'm sick of them.
I remember a game back in the night, we lost 5-2 to Arsenal at their ground. We went 2-0 up, and then we lost 5-2. Do you know, I can remember them days. Today was worse. Today is just an embarrassment.
I'm telling you now, Dermo, we could be finding ourselves in the middle of having to look for a manager as well as players in this store by the end of January.
Yeah, do you know what, Dave? I think you're right. And also, I think we will not, I agree with you also, we will not get top four. We'd be lucky if we finish mid-table. Yeah. And You know me, I'm the most optimistic fan going. I'd always try and a light at the end of any dark tunnel, but this tunnel's caved in, and I'm broken tonight as a Spurs fan. 41 years, I turned off the TV at halftime, and I'm broken as a Spurs fan, and I've just had enough. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we all have, Dermo. But Dermo, tell people quickly about your channel, my man, and then
sorry, Dave, I've got to go. This is just get to me too much. Sorry. If you can do it for me.
Yeah, no, Ashley, all right.
Yeah, it's just the result has really just got to me. That's all.
Yeah,
that's
no,
how much today means to me. How much this club means to me.
Yeah.
And they've let me down very, very badly. So look,
no,
that's all it is, Dave.
No worries, Dermo. Look, I'll give you a ring in a little while, my man. All right.
Yeah. All right, and
give
good
you
on. Yeah, come on, you Spurs. Sorry.
No hassle. See you, Dermo.
See it.
Everybody, get over, check out THFC Till I Die. He's a good guy, you know. Look, you can see his heart is in it. Just let down today. Sad to see stuff like that. And look, many fans are like that. You know, I'll probably go and have a little sulk in the corner tonight, you know. It's sad. It's really sad.
Keep your head up there, Mel. But yeah, everybody go show him some support, please, over on the channel. Doing a lot of content. He's just, please show Dermot some support, everybody. Keep your chin up, Dermot, like Tequila says. Big up, my man.
Yeah, big up, my man. Legend. But look, we'll keep this going. The last one we've got on is Mr. Jacob Anderson.
What's
bro,
up?
how are you keeping?
How are you guys doing?
I'm pissed off, man. I'm pissed off with the result, the performance. You know, I don't even know where to go from here to get out of it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the blame goes all the way around, from the board all the way down to the players. They just didn't show up today. But I will say I watched the Newcastle game today, and if Conte had Newcastle's defense, it'd be a whole different team. Like Sven Botman is next level. Like, that guy is a true defender. And I think we also lose sight that Eric Dyer was a midfielder. He got converted to a center back. He's not really a true center back, in my opinion. So we blame that guy for a lot of mistakes, but he kind of got thrown into that as well. I still think he needs to go, but
I think he's needed to go for quite a while.
Yeah, don't mind my dirty room. This is my son's playroom.
No, you're all good, man. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. What do you make of Hugo Lloris today, though, my man? I mean, like, look, he's been a brilliant servant in the Tottenham jersey. Is this a bad run of form for Hugo, or is this the decline of Hugo?
Oh, I think it's the decline. I think, and then once these goals start going in, you start doubting yourself.
Yeah.
I grew up playing goalkeeper. And yeah, if I let in a soft goal, like you're hoping you don't let another one in because it just deflates you. Stuff like that, happens at this level.
Can you even explain that one that went in today? Because it didn't even look like it was headed in. I think that should have been. I'm not sure if it was, or I haven't checked it, but that definitely should have been labeled as an own goal when you kind of look. At it,
his hands just weren't ready for that.
Yeah.
On that type of shot, your hands just need to be here, ready to hit that ball back. He was just standing with his hands kind of out.
Yeah.
I don't know if he
hit him in the chest. I think even it was that surprising.
Yeah. So if it would have hit his hands, it would have went back out. It hit his chest, and he was at kind of a strange angle too. So it's kind of just a deflection off his chest into the goal. And it was a bad goal. We've seen that a lot this year from Hugo. Not just with shot stopping, it's his all around play. Like it's hard to play the ball back to Hugo with any confidence because that first touch, every time he touches that ball, it's you don't know if it's going to go in or not.
Yeah.
But I will say my main.
What do you think? Sorry,
go
ahead.
No, good.
What do you with Antonio Conte? What do you make of where do you stand with him, Antonio Conte? Do you feel like he needs to maybe answer to maybe some of the mistakes made today, or are you kind of losing confidence in him? Do you want to stick with Conte and kind of ride this out, even if it's a tough period? Where do you kind of stand with Antonio Conte?
I do think Conte is the answer. But it has to come down to the board backing him and giving him the center backs that he needs, because his system is built off of strong center backs, and we don't have that. We have Romero. Even he's been, kind of bad this season. He's had some reckless tackles outside the box. But yeah, no, I think it comes down to he's used to playing with tall defenders, people that, their first touch is good and they're able to clear the ball or progress the ball. And you're gonna have to spend probably anywhere from 40 to 60 million a defender to get someone like that. And I don't think this board's gonna do that.
I think there are a lot of immediate problems that they have to fix right now with the squad, and it's whether they're actually willing to make a majority of those immediate fixes right now. And the issue too is it feels like Hugo has become an unexpected problem kind of this season. Like you brought up, we needed to switch up the center backs for some time, but Hugo has become an unexpected problem. What do you make of Sonny though too? Has Sonny, for you, maybe, like, where do you stand on him? Are you keeping the faith in him? Do you feel like he'll eventually come good this season, or are you getting really, really worried now?
I'm getting worried for Sonny. I mean, as his age goes up, his strong suit, like how he has success, is his pace. And as you hit that 30 and up, your pace tends to drop off. He's not like a Harry Kane where it's real technical ability and first touch is great. So I don't know. I'm kind of worried about Sonny. I can't remember who you guys had on earlier. Who said that they would look at selling Sonny in
I
the
asked
summer.
that question. Yeah. Would you take the opportunity to sell him in the summer? I mean, basically,
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would 100%. I think this squad has to start getting younger. I mean, I hate to say it, but I don't see Kane staying. Because, I mean, why would you if you're not going to put the money into the squad? It doesn't matter how many goals you score if you can't keep him out of the net.
Yeah. Well, he's already said he's not signing a new contract until he's convinced by the investment into the club, and Antonio Conte's contract. So I think you're absolutely spot on there. Look, I'll be honest. If I was Harry Kane right now, once I beat Jimmy Greaves' record, which he's going to do, I'd be out of here.
Oh yeah.
I would. If you're Harry Kane, after Pochettino, he's already spent 3-4 years. Now, if we get rid of Conte and we bring in the next guy, he's already looking at another 2 years plus before we get anywhere back to even qualifying for 4.
Yeah.
He ain't sticking around for that, man. He's gone. He's out here.
No. Yeah, I really expect Manchester United to start going after him.
Yeah.
Here shortly, or Newcastle. If Newcastle had Harry Kane, they'd be a scary team. Because they built out from the back end, which is how you build championship teams. You got to build from the back out.
Yeah.
So that's the piece that they're missing. They have the midfield, they have the defense. Their goalkeeper is top notch. They're just missing that striker. I mean, look, Colin Wilson today. He had probably 6-7 attempts in front of goal, and he missed every one of them. If that's Kane, that's 2-3 goals.
Is that something that's frustrated you this season? It sounds like, Jacob, from what I'm gathering, is that you seem like maybe a big regret that you might feel like with this transfer window, or just maybe with Spurs in general, is that they didn't really give Conte a strong enough defense, or he doesn't really have good enough defenders really in your eyes, it sounds like, to pick from.
Yeah, that is my main concern.
The Achilles heel for you this season.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the summer too, I'll say Conte is a little bit to blame here too. I don't know if he thought he was going to get backed a little bit more than he did, but that 60 million for Richarlison should have went to a top-notch defender, in my opinion.
Interesting.
I like
maybe
Richie.
Spend a little less on a number 9 and go for maybe spend more on the center back. Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd have put that money towards the defense and looked at potentially loaning somebody in, maybe like Depay, to be a backup. Depay has been linked to be going away from Barca for 2-3 years now.
Some people wanted like Emmanuel Dennis, I think, too, and things like that, just like kind of cheaper options, as a backup number 9. But at the same time, a lot of people are saying, listen, like, in order to be a big club, you need to have a true guy, be able to challenge Kane. Richarlison seemed to, or Jesus was the other one we were looking at, seemed to fit that bill. But I don't know. It's hard right now to. It's. I agree with you actually. With huge hindsight, you would definitely think absolutely you would have traded more money and put that more into the defense than maybe the backup number 9. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I would compare. I mean, look at what Chelsea's doing. I mean, I know they have the money that they're going to put up, but they're nowhere near, top 4 succeeding this season. But they're still shelling out the money to set themselves up for the future. I think it's just 2 different ways that top clubs are run. I know we have financial stability run it this way, but it's not going to bring success. So.
So where do we go from here, Jacob? Do you think the ownership has taken us as far as they can? Do they need to sell up? Do they just need to realize that they need to invest more? Do you sell or do you get rid of Conte? I mean, what do you do here? I mean,
Conte is not really a rebuilding manager. So if you're not prepared to put the money in, you might as well let Conte walk and bring in, I don't know, Pochettino or whatever. But as far as the squad goes now, like it's aging. This is the time that you need to be selling assets, that are going to be out of their prime in the next 2-3 years. And I think Sonny's one of those. You gotta sell Sonny, use that money to invest back into younger players. At the end of the day, it's a business, and you have depreciating items. So you gotta get the most for your return.
Spot on. Absolutely spot on, my man. And look, how do we get out of this going forward? What's the plan? Any solutions?
I don't know.
Where do we start? New manager, keep them, get squad players in. Everyone ramp up the pressure on the owners. Well, where do we start?
I would like to say invest now, and get those center backs lined out and that right wing back. Because if you have confidence, there, Kane doesn't have to play as far back. He can be Sonny can just be running up that flank. Sonny comes back, and it's hard for them to break out and do that counterattack this year. It's not working.
Yeah. But we need the investment big time. Big time. It's got to happen. Over these next 15 days, they've got to find money from somewhere and get a few of these positions plugged. If not, we'll find ourselves potentially back in the Europa Conference League quicker than what you can say, boo. It's just not good enough.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the way it's looking right now. Because I don't see this team's they're going through it, and I think also Conte's comments, saying we're not good enough, or we're only good enough for maybe like 6th or 5th or whatever. I think that doesn't help out with the dressing room. So
no, it doesn't help morale either. You're right. Well, Jacob, I would love to get you on another one of these. Hopefully we can see you soon, especially if it's brighter spirits, and also so we can have maybe a bit more time, to chat for, a bit longer than this. But it's been a very, very, very long day, I think, for us Spurs fans. So
absolutely.
Last guest of the evening, my friend. Very well done. And like I said, hopefully we catch you on soon.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Big up, guys.
Good man,
Jacob. I
Jacob.
appreciate you coming on, my man. And look, I really want to speak to you again soon. I really enjoyed that call, brother.
Yeah, I'll try to make the next fan show.
Appreciate it. See you soon.
All right, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Later.
Your time. See you, brother.
Jacob.
See you.
Bye-bye. There you are. That's Jacob. That's all the Spurs fans this evening that want to come on and have their voice heard. Been a long day. Been at this since 12 o'clock today. Nearly 12 o'clock. Nearly 12 hours. Look, I don't know what to say to you, to be honest with you, apart from it's shocking. It's embarrassing. And I don't even know where to begin to sort it out. I'm definitely going to stay up for a few hours. Think things through, try and come up with something. I probably will release something tomorrow on my thoughts on everything in general. But guys, I think that's it from us tonight. Thank you everybody for all your support today, from the pre-match to the watch-along to the fan show. Really appreciate all of you guys. Don't let Tottenham ruin the rest of your evening. Try and switch off and think about something else. We'll see you back here tomorrow. As always, win, lose, or draw, it doesn't matter. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Thank you, everybody. Big day today. Thank you, everybody. A lot of support, and just stick through this together. It's going to be a tough, sort of one to battle through here, but everybody just stick through this together. And thank you for the support today. Thank you for everybody who donated, everybody who just helped out the channel, everybody who's just stuck with us. From also some people have been with us in the chat this whole day as well. So really do appreciate everybody. Thank you very much.
Amazing. We'll see you all back here tomorrow talking more Tottenham. I don't know whether I'm stupid or whether I don't know. But guys, see you back here tomorrow. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. See you soon, everybody.